Harsh I'm back.
Welcome back.
Matt, is Witcher up on the server properly? Is he in?
No, he's got him food.
No, is Witcher up in the server? No, he can't get in.
Pointless trying on this settings, fucking hell.
Right, is fucking Witcher up on this fucking intro this properly? Where is he gonna be? 11.
It's a bit of a handful full of fuel, Mike.
I've not ran it here full of fuel, to be fair. Oh, where's Matt? Matt needs to reset. Witcherup's fucking number's wrong. Why is that wrong? That means that's been fucking changed. Hang on, 8. Yeah, he's changed his fucking number on the farm. Who's bottom? For fuck's sake, fuck off. History. I'm not going to get any fucking packs from that. 5367. Who the fuck is that? After PVR. Why are their numbers wrong?
What, their ID?
Yeah, but it's the ID on the server isn't the ID that is on the registration form. It doesn't look like, but I don't know why, because it doesn't match anyone else's. So it has to be from somewhere. 4559. Where's he? Yeah, this is correct. 3499.
I need to stop trying that, for fuck's sake.
So Daniel can't get in, and his is correct. Has he actually responded?
He did.
Yeah.
He said he.
So
Yeah.
he's on the server. So and his number is the exact one that's on the registration form.
But he can't get in.
And he says he can't get in either.
So there's two that can't get in.
Yeah, one of them the number's wrong.
Right.
I don't know why, because I don't know where the number's from. It must have changed on the form.
Right. So what do we think's wrong with Daniel's then? Obviously his number's right.
With Daniel's, I've not a clue. All I need is his number, and that's it. His
Is
number
he running under a
matches
different
what's in his
account?
form. Well, that's what I've just said. I said if you can't get in, then the player ID number you gave on the entry form's incorrect.
What do you need map for?
To see what he wants to do, because I don't know why Witcherup's number is wrong and unmatches, so do we reset it for him? I don't actually know. That's why he can't get in. I don't know why Daniel can't get in. And it's whether he wants to leave him out or restart the server. But he needs to make that call.
Have you messaged him on Discord?
No. I want to get some fucking practice in, but fuck's sake. I might just fucking make the call and do it myself. Make sure your setup's a save, boys.
So,
Yeah.
Some reason, Sebastian Wittrup's number is wrong
Right.
completely, and I don't know why. But Daniel can't get in, and his is correct according to the entry list.
Witcherup is in the server, is he?
No, he can't get in the server.
So Witcherup and Daniel both can't get in the server.
I'm changing Wittrup's, I just
Have you
need
got
Daniel
his?
to confirm his number for me.
I can possibly search Daniels. Where's J? There. Pinned. PSN. Excuse me. GT3 sign-ups. Is it Daniel Owls?
Yes.
Right, his PSN name apparently is Max_ALS. Right, the one I've just got, Mike, I'm sending you now.
Right.
What you're doing is resetting it with 27 minutes of practice.
Yeah, that's not the number that I had for him either.
You didn't have that number?
No, that's not on his entry list. That is different to the entry list.
Right, I've just gone on a website
changed...
that you type in their PSN names, it gives you their ID number.
Right, so I've just changed that. So that'll save. So the entry list one, the sign up form, sorry, is correct.
Yep.
So save. I've just got to edit those for the server. Right. Event. So what do we want? 27 minutes?
Yeah.
That's enough, innit?
Yeah. Right, I'm just going to go finish my dinner now. That's sorted.
Alright. Everyone ready?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Going. Doing it.
Are you running a high spring rate on the front bike?
I'll tell you in a minute.
I'm finding it easier to control with a higher spring rate with full fuel.
Right, which up's in?
Why can't I select anything?
You might need to leave and come back in. I've had that before.
Fuck me.
I don't know why. It fucks me right off when that happens. What did you want to know, Dan? It does.
Front spring rates, are they like high or lower?
188,964
Right, okay.
wheel rate.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fucking hell, Tony.
Right, what I forgot? Let's take off 100 and fucking odd litres. Let's run 50. Let's see how this balances out.
Yay, I'm going to be last now.
Ah, but that means your first pit box. No cunt can block you. Positives and negatives.
Oh no, I'm dead. No, wait. What?
Ah, it might put you in the same position you entered originally.
No, I'm at the back for some reason.
I'd rather be there. I just didn't want to wait for every other fucker to get in. Alright, Dancer Racing are in.
I wanted to be near the front so I could get out in time. but now I'm at the back.
Well, I suppose, yeah, for qualifying it's a bonus, isn't it?
Exactly. It
But
is
for the
the
race, where you are, it's a bit
Yeah,
better,
but
depending who goes
pole's
in.
more important.
Uh,
Pole is far more important around here.
I suppose if you're at the front of the pit lane, and you can qualify at the front, then you've not really got many other people to pit in front of you anyway, have you?
No, and it's quite easy for me to miss the pit box if it's literally straight away.
That's true. We're probably better off at the back.
Like I say, Dan, you don't have as much time to adjust strategy as well, do you? If it's
Ah,
a
yeah,
last
that's
minute
true.
dive.
Just to do it on one of the long straights.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide whether or not to run full fuel or not.
I'm the same. I'm tempted to run full fuel and not put tyres on for the big
I'm not putting
race.
tyres on. I'm not going to put tyres on, but what I might do is run 60 to 70 litres.
Yeah, well, it says 106 for a 202 lap. You need 106 litres in the Ferrari for 3 laps safe. But like I say, it's 55 litres is 14 seconds pit stop. 1 litre is 3 point something because the
Yeah,
first
that's why
one's
I'm thinking
always
like
it's 3
70
seconds.
litres. 70, 80
Well,
litres
put
instead of...
40 in.
Yeah.
You'll save a second or so, maybe 2. I've just softened my dampers all round by 1, just to see if it just takes a bit of the road and curb bumps out. Especially if I need to be offline. Oh, he's hit the brakes too late, you dickhead. Fucking hell. Thing's not even fucking turning now.
Remember, it's set on fast.
Yeah, I was just thinking that then as I was coming in.
Right, that's my race setup done.
Can you hear me?
No.
Sweet. Is that sorted now, Mike?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sweet. Flipping twits. Imagine signing up with wrong fucking ID number.
I don't know what was up with why Skunky's was different to what was on the thing though. Not Skunky, the Witch Ups. His number was correct on the registration form, but wasn't on the entry list. So I don't know why I'd have put anything different in because it didn't match anyone's number.
Strange. Oh, I mean, who else is in? 21. Phil has started the comms box. I want to copy that. And I need to load Streamlabs. What? Could you pour me a glass of Dr. Pepper before you go up, please?
Right, I'm gonna start a party chat, boys. I'll see whoever's joining me in there.
Alrighty.
Best of luck to you all tonight. Alright.
Cheers.
Good luck, Dan. Good luck, Daz.
Yeah, cheers, Matt.
No worries,
Oh, hang
dude.
on. Everybody's left, are they?
Mike's just gone.
I'm
Dan's
still
been
on. Just finishing my lap.
Yeah, I'll have a good one. Cheers too, boys. Yeah, since I'm the only one who's putting up the PM.
Yeah, best of luck.
Yeah, cheers,
Are we,
boys. Yeah.
are we
Yeah,
limited
best
to
of luck,
tyres?
Keeney.
10 sets.
Right, okay. I don't waste them.
Have a good one, boys.
Yeah,
See you
thanks.
later.
Here is fucking Peony. Here is Peony. Here is Peony. Here is Peony.
Here is fucking Matthew.
Fucking Peony.
Fucking Matthew. Amazon are being
Yeah.
shit.
Wow, so Amazon.
Well, they haven't delivered my parcel yet. It's saying between 7:15 and 10:15.
Oh, you got something coming?
Yeah.
Okay, that's late delivery, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been either.
So, parents are keeping an ear out. So. And no, it's not a train.
What you ordered out good?
Yeah, it's one of
excuse me.
Hammond Collection dinosaurs
Nice.
by Mattel. Big Giganotosaurus. I don't need to load the stream up yet because my phone's shut off still. Of course, Overtaker won't be out on track yet. The track's not optimum. Did we just sue someone again?
Not sure. We had to fucking reset it earlier because Witch Trupp and Daniel's fucking PSN numbers were wrong.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, I say wrong. It was wrong on the entry list, not wrong on the sign-ups. Daniel's was, But Wittrops was correct on the entry list. It matched the GT4's one, but was wrong on this.
So in other words, it did a glitch, did it?
Either that or Mike's misinputted it somewhere and hasn't realised. Do you know what I mean?
Right, we'll get this right. It's McGowan, not McGroin.
Yeah. Yeah, boy. Come on, the TNS. Look at them.
One Aston, but there's enough Astons in GT4s to help their manufacturer's cause. Oh, it's Max for crashing.
Copy.
I'm surprised he didn't just pick one of the Red Bull livery cars.
To be fair, I'm surprised he didn't go Ferrari and do that.
Yeah. I think the FBR boys need to be in the McDonald's BMW as well. For unity. Oh, God, get used to people's different cars. Take you in the Mustang. The only representation for Ford.
No, Dean's in it in Pro-Am. Not Wasaki. Hypertex Dean.
Hypertex Dean.
Yeah, he's in it in Pro-Am.
Well, Wasaki won't race, will he? He's too busy with playing.
I don't fucking give a shit. Couldn't give two fucks about him. If he wants to be bum chums with fucking Bryn all of a sudden, then fine. We'll fucking go do
that. You just look into his account and change his PSN password and take over it.
Oh, fucking, I'd love to do
that. We're not live yet. Oh, wait, we're live on your YouTube, aren't we?
No, he's not watching it. Would that log him out his end?
That will permanently log him out.
If I change his password, it'll log him out.
Why I don't account share? Because if I can think of it, so can they. But anyway, I have TFA and Authenticator for mine. Come on, more views. I need more views on my videos and more subscribers. 97% don't subscribe. I like cranes.
And probably not the easiest start possible. Would you have preferred to face maybe to start the competition with a, let's say, a less prestigious side, or will these games allow you to understand what you are at the moment? Yeah, I prefer we play it tonight here, right here now. Obviously, there's a lot of excitement. Everyone's looking forward to the qualifying for the league competition, and now we can enjoy tonight, and we can more than anything enjoy and get on with it for the forthcoming games to try and get some points. What should expect tonight from TNS? Which type of game plan and what message you gave to the team? Yeah, we obviously we understand Fiorentina are a fantastic team, and and two times finalists, they're going to be very, very tough. But like I just alluded to earlier, we've got really good team spirit, we've got good togetherness, we've got players that have been together for a long time, that know each other's game, good teamwork, and as long as we stick together, we'll be fine. Craig Harrison, thank you very much for your time and good luck for tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you. Not a special occasion for Craig Harrison and his players. One of them is Sean Bradley there. Owen Jones is alongside myself, Mike Miney, tonight. His goal record's good in Wales. Can he convert it to Europe? Yeah, hopefully so. I mean, it's his first start in Europe. Signed in the summer from Commander Town. And it's a big night for Sean Bradley. Hopefully he gets on the ball and creates plenty. And we've got Danny Davis at the back. Centre half. He's very quick. He's going to have a very big night alongside the rest of the and the rest of the team, because we are going to expect to see TNS having to put men behind the ball, making sure they allow no spaces for Fiorentina.
Huge night for Wales tonight.
It's going to be the perfect defensive.
First time we've ever had a team qualify in Europe from the Welsh leagues, not like Cardiff and Swansea playing England. So. Big night.
Whilst this is new territory for the new Saints,
Huge night.
know all about the Conference League. They reached the final in 2023, only to be beaten by West Ham in Prague, and then a year later returned to the final, this time in Athens, but once again ended up being beaten as Olympiacos won their first.
So I think Mike's been soft with Tank.
Did you hear the voice messages?
No, I chose not to listen to him.
Kevin said apparently he was asking for the guy's address and threatening him.
I would say, come on then, bring it, bitch.
Oh no, honestly. I know, honestly though, Max Mulder got banned for less than that.
Yeah.
You know, I know he was persistent, but but you can't fucking do that shit.
Yeah. Well, we all know what I would have. I know Jay would have said, just bring it. I know.
You were saying earlier, yeah, but like you say, but when you're trying to run a league, you know, and who's deleted messages, fucking hypertech. Yeah, just.
And I love it. Mike got the wrong Rob Smith.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Right, plugged in. It's phone ready. Insert coins live. And it's a Patreon, so it's still coming up.
Grab the keyboard. Let's just double check that it's changing. No, it's not changing cameras because I've just had to leave. So options, controls, back out. F3, yep, there we go. F6. There we go. I'm going to leave it on the dashboard camera for a quali lap. I think it should be 21 tonight. Yep, there is.
Yep, 21.
Oh, they're going to stick with a 4-3-3. Fair play.
Dad is live. Dan is live. Overtaker's still not on track.
Got 3 words for you.
Can you dig it?
You
Sucker.
ready? Love that. The TNS home shirt's got the Welsh Dragon on the back here.
Yeah.
TNS playing Oswestry near Shrewsbury in England. Quality.
Did you see I did a 2K24 live stream on
I
Xbox?
didn't. I was in fucking bed, mate. God, I had indigestion last night. It was like a sharp stabbing pain in the middle of my chest. Turns out just indigestion. Fuck, that was about 4 in the morning, so I slept through till 11:30. Yeah, bollocks to that shit.
Slowly start streaming again. I kind of neglected to my Twitch.
Yeah, you've been focusing on YouTube, haven't you, and stuff, so.
I don't think people will watch an IRL stream of me playing with some trains.
You don't know. What you'd have to do is just Google it, mate. Just search it on Twitch and see what kind of comes up. See how many views you get and stuff.
Live reaction to Thomas the Tank Engine. Is it as good as you remember it? For me, it was when I was 2. What's next? If I turn up a race and I race in a green car, is Cloudon going to get upset I'm in a green car? I've always raced in green cars, haven't I?
You do? Oh, I don't. Yeah.
Even though I'm in the Team Parker race and Bentley at the moment.
I don't think you actually are, because you can't see our cars because we're in the spectators,
Nope.
aren't we? So.
Nope. I like when the PS4 version broke.
Oh, that were annoying as fuck, especially when you were racing. You come round and see how far the car is in front of you, and all of a sudden it pops up with like Dan Davis and fucking PN Motorsport. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we started calling GT4 cars because they were smaller. So we didn't take up as much room.
Oh my god, TNS evidently scored. Right. We'll go live just at the start of quali, I think, dude.
Yeah. There's a few people doing laps. Mostly in Ballard. So it'll go straight to race. Straight to quali. Jesus, Cloudon. Edward Blackmore.
Dan's pitted. Skunk is in the pits. Car 14, that's Taker, isn't it?
Yeah, he's in the pits.
No, he's not.
No?
No, he's just gone through the turn 2.
English in chat palaver. Oh, if only Tony was a modern band. Palaver. Something in Latvian?
Nice words from Tracy.
Yeah. But you can't thumbs up with a comment, can you?
No.
Not when you're live. Oh, Taker's done.
Okay. 2, 1. Good evening and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport here for a brand new series. I say a brand new series, a brand new season, but the same series. It is the Pro event tonight, and we are here at Bathurst for the start of this fantastic racetrack, this fantastic place to be. Normally we see it for the Bathurst 12 hours in the GT world, as well as GT Asia or GT Australia do their race around here as well. Also famous for the Bathurst 1000 in the V8 supercars. Great track, great spectacle, and what a way to kick off our season. I'm your host, Matthew Duffin, joined in the box by PN Motorsport, aka Phil Radon. Phil, good evening, good afternoon, welcome to the comms box. It's been five long weeks, not the 6 we're normally used to. It's been 5 long weeks of no motorsport and no racing, not even a fun event. But we're back, we're in the comms box, and we're looking forward to this one because the 2 nights we've previously had, there's been some interesting racing, some good racing, and some incidents as well. But the pro boys, the top guys and girls, because I'm not going to assume, the top drivers, should I say, in this league are here to put on what is going to be a fantastic show for us.
Yeah, evening, Matt. I'm just getting comfy back in my groove of my seat here in the comms box, you know. So it's been 5 weeks out of it. We're back at a circuit I like for a reason. Back in when we had our AM season, our final AM season, before the cameras all messed up on PS4, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was indeed.
I wonder why. I don't know why, really. Some guy in a Bentley won with a 66 on the side of it, won by about 40 plus seconds in the wet. I don't know who that was. Oh wait, yes I do. Me. It was me.
Just toot your own trumpet a bit there, Phil. Yeah, but
Well, I don't race no more, though,
No.
so...
we are back though at Bathurst, so like you say, you are one of the previous winners. Most successful around this circuit, Rabbit Joe, Kieran Argent, Dan Davis, Fury and myself all with 2 wins apiece. And then, like you say, Andy Emo Guy, Peaceful Explosion, KLF, Shane, Overtaker, Sutty and yourself and Skunky on Tuesday night, as well as Orr Smith, actually 2 wins. He got 2 wins last night as well, so great to see him in that list with 2 wins. But it's a very tricky, difficult circuit, isn't it, Phil? It's one that the drivers have got to have a lot of confidence. I said on Tuesday night, or maybe in last night to one of the Pro-Am drivers, that you're not going to see everybody's outright pace here. This is all going to be about the confidence of up and down the mountain, isn't it?
It is, and how brave you are flirting on walls. Apparently our comms are a bit quiet. According to Rob Smith. I believe that's the other Rob Smith.
Right, I have turned the comms up a little bit once again, so hopefully that is good. For Rob Smith, the comms have been turned up quite a bit now. So Rob, just let us know if that's all right for you, buddy, and hopefully that is fine. But like we say, Phil, it's a tricky circuit. You've got to get the mountain right. That is where time is won and lost.
Yeah, and imagine how hard it was in the wet as well. And think we've got an endurance race here in November.
We have a good 6 hours of the circuit.
Well, in theory, 6 hours.
Yeah,
If the server don't crash.
Hopefully
again.
so. Good evening, Type Tech, though, in the chat. Tracy, as always. And thank you, Tracy, for the kind words about the commentators. We always enjoy hearing such wonderful words about all the commentators here at SimPlay Motorsport. We do enjoy putting on the show for you guys. Good evening to Rob Smith as well as Gary Clarbel. Chris is back in the chat. Ben's father, so great to see Chris back. Fury's granddad is in there. And Plava. I can't understand what Plava's put. NRT Pathfinder. Hi from Portugal, he says. Go Machado and Vienna. Let's go NRT, he says. So that's better. I think I am. That's better. I am the other Rob Smith.
For one in the Ferrari, not the race one.
Ferrari Rob Smith. There we go then. Right.
I think we're going to have to call one of them Bob.
Well, I've got on the tables it says ODD Rob Smith, just to make sure that everybody's clear, because ODD I think is his PSN name or his Discord name. But either way, it's Max Mulder who's currently the provisional pole man at the moment. He is the one who has set the fastest lap time. Car 140 is just coming towards the back end of his lap. Paolo's yet to get back out on circuit. We'll run through the drivers, Phil, when we're on the warm-up lap, as here comes Ben towards the line. Now, what is he going to do? He manages to go top of that timing screen's car 33. That is Sebastian Wittrup, who we saw in the Endurance Series not long ago. He's coming now towards the line. Obviously, we'll discuss people's cars on the formation lap, as well as the drivers and the pairings. Not everybody here tonight. A couple of faces are missing as Sebastian Wittrup goes into P3. Car 42, Tim Venting could be one of the guys that you'll see promoted from Pro-Am after finishing runner-up to his teammate Max Mulder. He stays with Max Mulder in the BSP Esports car. And he also stays in that Ferrari 296. So what is he going to do around this lap at the moment? Where's this going to put him up into the top 7? That is a heck of a banker lap for him there. Daniel, the new driver, teammate to Sebastian Wittrup in the Dan Seb Racing car. He is in the Ferrari 296. What can he do as he comes to line? And then probably one of the biggest shocks of the season for me, I think, is the champion. 9 times a champion at SimPlay Motorsports. Daniel goes into P number 11. It's Dan Davis, stays with the SimPlay Racing team, stays with Mike Matthews, but he's running the Lexus, have to say one of the better looking liveries on the grid. And yes, it is for the Swiss flag on the front of the bonnet. Let's go on board with Dan Davis for a lap around this circuit. One of the most successful drivers at this track. He loves it, and he's one who goes really well. But Phil, the Lexus, an interesting car choice. Obviously the BOP, the balance of performance, is going to be interesting tonight.
Yeah, it's a beast down straights as well, the Lexus is. And there's 2 quite long straights here, so it's going to be pretty handy. If only we had stuff at the side, maybe a longer straight.
Yeah, it is going to be a pretty handy car, that is for sure. But Dan Davies currently climbing up the mounting at the moment, currently 3rd fastest, 4 tenths off the back of Overtaker, who him as well has gone an interesting car choice. And this is going to be absolutely fantastic. Look at how close Dan runs to these walls. He loves his circuit. A little wiggle coming uphill. Now for the double left-hander that's coming up. Takes the first bit. Little lift back on the power. Get as close to that outside wall as you possibly can. Now, just try and clip the curb. Not run too much of it. Lovely on the outside. Little dab on the brakes. Down a gear. Through the right. Through the left. And again, you just hear Dan patient through the gears as he drops downhill. Real big dip there. Coming down towards the Forest elbow. So easy to lock up the rear, the tyres. Coming into this corner, and Dan just nice and easy through the brakes, getting very close to the wall, as close as he dares, because as we know, the closer you are, the faster you are going, or the faster the line is, should I say. And Dan Davis currently down in 6th place at the moment. It is Skunky who takes pole position after winning race 3 of the GT4s on Tuesday night. Skunky will be looking to add to his win record. As we say good evening to Monkey Boy in the chat as well. We'll read Gary Clarvel and Plava's comments in just a few moments' time. Dan, though, in towards the chase off through the Conrod Straight. Nicely done. You don't want to clatter these curbs too hard. Runs just nicely over the right-hander and the exit curb down towards the start-finish line. 7 tenths, nearly 8 tenths he needs to improve on this current lap time as he comes through the final corner. What is Dan Davis going to set then? Towards the line he comes, goes up to P2, 2 tenths off the back of Skunky.
Yeah, never good lap. Well, only got time to finish this one really, because...
Oh, Mike Matthews has just bounced off the wall. He's got a lap time on the board, but he's bounced off the final corner, and that is going to be it. Jamal Cloudon's going back out on circuit. He is not going to get another run in, so maybe just checking a tweak he's made. But Mike Matthews is done for qualifying here then, and here comes Diz now.
Where is Diz? Cross the line? No
P11.
improvement. P11.
Yeah, P11, car 14, that is overtaker to the line. He goes up into 2nd place, so a good lap from him. What about the 135? That then is Matt Wright, new driver to the championship. Can he come across the line and improve? Goes up to 17th. Car 46 is next. That is Paulo Viana, who crosses the line. Now the 35, a returning face of Darren Yeo. What can he do? 1.4 off the pole at the moment, down in 14th place. Here he comes round the final corner. Can Darren Yeo improve on that lap time? To the line stays P14 for the time being. Sky Schundelmeyer in the Porsche for BSP Racing. He stays down in 16th place. What about car 33? That then is Sebastian Wittrup. He stays in P5. The 302's got a little yellow flag, so we're going to go to the 333. That is Max Verkrashen. We're not going to go there on the name. We're not going to go there on the name, but Max Verkrashen is P19. He moves up to P17. Yeah, but you know, if it was Max Verstappen, we'd fine. But it's Max Verkrashen. We're not going to go there with that name. The 664 is now to the line. Here is Ian McGowan, GT4 racer in the Mercedes. Did rather well in the GT4s as well.
Yeah, he was up there, wasn't he, with you? Well,
yeah, me, Skunky Friedman. P6 at the moment. Dan Davis is coming back to the line. Needs 2 tenths to take that pole position. Clouden, well, I don't know how he's got around there that fast. He is absolutely flying. Is he going to be able to get a lap time on the board? Dan Davis, though, does go pole position. 28 thousandths of a second clear. Car 36 is Jamal Clouden. He's down in P9. Is he going to be able to get to the line in time? Think he's just going to miss out. It didn't come up with a checkered flag. Did he start his lap time then? Car 81. That is Paolo. Hasn't put a lap time on the board. We know that the blue dots don't change straight away. Can Paolo get a lap time on the board here? What is it going to be if he does? He gets one on the board. Not really what Paolo can do. We know Paolo's got a lot more in the bag than that. Diz moves up to P10. Who is the car behind Diz? Hard to keep up with all these cars. That then is Overtaker, who stays P3. Just under a tenth. Car 17 is next. That's Richard Beasley. 1.5 seconds off the back. He moves into the top line. Car 46 now a Paulo Viana. 3.5 tenths needed. Can he find that 3.5 tenths? He improves but stays in P4. Daz Automatic and down in 15th place. Has he got more time in the bag? That is the biggest question.
Turns in.
Towards the line now. 1.4 off the pole. Moves himself into the top 9. That is a great lap from Darren. What about Sebastian Wittrup then? I'm not sure who that is behind him. That is the 1, 2, 3, I believe, of Emmanuel Machado. Insert coin from last season. And then Dan Davis is on an invalid lap, as is Clouden, but we'll see. He has ditched a Honda.
Well, if they were invalid, his session would actually end now, wouldn't it?
Yes, so probably still on a lap. I imagine Clouden might, because he was on an out lap, wasn't he, a moment ago. Dan may be genuinely invalid. But let's wait and see then.
Back in for the chase.
We'll go through the cars, PN, and we'll go through some of the teammates who are drivers with.
Oh,
Dan has
Dan's
bailed on his lap. What about Jamal Crowd? Man, he's coming towards the line. This is on board with him. You've seen how hard he's working on that steering wheel there, down towards Murray's Corner, the final turn on this circuit. Did enough to get a lap time in. And comes to the line now, currently down in P11. The runner-up of last season will only stay in 11th place. And Phil, it is as we saw a few weeks ago, or 5 weeks ago, should we say, Dan Davis, quickest on the circuit, and already takes the first pole position of the year. He's starting as he means to go on.
Well, title number 10.
That's what he's looking for, isn't it? Yeah, that's what he's looking for. He's going for that 10th championship.
And do it in a front-engine car instead of a mid-engine car.
I think the only thing he said then is to do it then in the rear engine car of the
Porsche.
The Porsche. So we'll wait and see. Max Mulder, good qualifying for him up in P6. Tim Venting is down in 13th. Not bad for him mid-pack. Sebastian Wittrup in P5. Daniel, I believe, is D-Max. Yeah, it is, because that's his teammate. Where is Daniel? He's 15th. Gary Leach not here tonight. Darren Young moved up into the top 9. Great qualifying from him. Sky Schundelmeyer, 16th place. He'll be disappointed with that. He'll want to achieve a little bit more, but we'll have to wait and see what he can do. Paolo down in 21st. Great to have Paolo back. Haven't seen Paolo since the PS4 days, so great to have him back. McGowan up in P7th. Jamal Clown 11th, though. He'll be disappointed with that. His teammate Diz was 12th. So Fat Bloke at the Fat Bloke Bandits, that's the team name, all together on the grid. Edward Blackmore down in 19th place, and Matt Wright down in 18th. And so that is the drivers who have qualified for today's race then. And we'll just go through some of these teams in a few moments' time. That is Dan Davis's 58th pole position here at SimPlay Motorsport. More importantly, that is the Lexus's first ever pole position. So Dan Davis has made Lexus get its first ever pole position. So Phil, we are here. It's a new season, brand new season. And these new cars and driver lineups and drivers are rather interesting, aren't they? They are rather fruity, let's say, because Dan's gone Lexus. That's an interesting choice for the championship, for the 9-time champion and defending champion at the moment.
Is that though he's always said he likes for Lexus, but when we didn't have the BOP, it just wasn't quite competitive enough. But now with the BOP we've got in, it's a viable car. So there's a Bentley, but there's none of them.
He stays in the SimPlay Racing crew, going for a third constructors in a row as well. So Dan Davis and SimPlay Racing team are looking to do that for a third time. We then move to Skunky, who is a fantastic driver. We saw in the GT4s last season, and we saw in GT4s on Monday night how competitive he can be in a Ginetta. With the Redline Junkies in the blue, quite ironic, Ferrari. We've seen how capable this guy is as a driver. We've seen how good he can race in a Ginetta GT4. Different in a GT3. What can we expect from him this season?
Probably quite good things, actually. He's relatively quick. He managed to hold off to you in race 3 on GT4s. Not like I was watching, but I was watching. And it's got to be a very close season, I think. Dan's not going to quite have it as easy, is he? I don't think so, no. Overtaker comes next. Independent this year, running the Ford Mustang. That is the biggest surprise for me. Up here in the mountain, it looks nearly as wide as the circuit. What do we think he can do, though? Because obviously, Overtaker very particular on his cars, being a pad user. Has always enjoyed the McLaren because it's nice to drive on the pad. Also, like the Bentley, we would possibly thought he may have gone back Bentley, seeing the boppers back, and we know Overtaker enjoyed the car. Yeah, well, the Mustang's a bit like the Bentley, I think. What a limited driving like you do. It feels very much like a more up-to-date Bentley, but with a Ford badge on it. Paolo Viana, new to the championship this season, joins the Naval Racing Team, NRT, with Machado, aka Insert Coin. BMW M4, we know how strong the BMW is. But going to be interesting to see another new driver on the grid. Sebastian Wittrup, we see him in GT4, I believe, on Tuesday night. We also saw him in the endurance race in the BMW. Guy's got pace as well, so he's going to be interesting to watch. Yeah, as I said. And you can't even count out Max. I think Max could be a fly in the ointment this season
Yeah.
as well. And he's gone to Ferrari and got rid of the McLaren as well.
Yeah, he's got rid of the McLaren, gone to Ferrari. BSP Esports, not BSP Racing for this season. Obviously, still a part of the BSP stable, but BSP Racing have been have gone with Sky Schundelmeyer and Ben. Ian McGowan, another new driver to the grid, or Gowney as he's known on the Discord server. McGowan, though, we saw him quick in the Mercedes GT4 again. Another one a bit like Skunky. We saw what he can do in a GT4. Going to be interesting to see what he can do in a GT3. He's a part of Redline Junkies with Skunky in there. Darren Yeo makes a return back to SimPlay Motorsport after a couple of seasons out. He's for Team SPR, SimPlay Racing second team. Richard Beasley for Team FBR. He's gone Lexus as well. That, for me, is a very interesting car choice. Not sure why he's behind Ben. I think Ben out-qualified Richard. In fact, Daz is also saying he's 8th. Has somebody missed the start? No. So I'm a bit confused as to what the grid order is here at the moment.
I think have we lost a driver?
Nope, still 21. Ben in... there we go. I think Ben's now starting to catch up. Ben in the BSP Racing. Jamal Cloud and Fat Blokes. Bandits. He's still a part of Greasy Bandit stable. He's teamed with Diz this season. That's going to be an interesting pairing. Tim Ventic, BSP Esports. Emmanuel Machado's gone to the BMW from the Honda. Daniel, new driver to the Championship. Dan Seb Racing with Sky Schundelmeyer along him. Max Verkrashen in the McLaren. Matt Wright in his Ferrari. Edward Blackmore in the McLaren. Mike Matthews, he's going to be disappointed back in the Ferrari, but towards the rear of the grid. We come, though, to the final corner, Phil, and the warm-up lap is done. Good evening, though, to Fat Bloke in the chat, Monkey Boy, as well as Chris and Emplover as well. We will read your comments as the race starts to die down. But this one is about to get underway, and for the first time in the Pro category this season, we are... green and go here, and it's a decent start from Dan Davis. Skunky didn't go with him at all at the minute, and it's Overtaker trying to have a look. No, he's not. It's Skunky going around the outside of Dan Davis. Now Overtaker will have a look up the inside after the first corner, due to the fact that Skunky attacked the back of Dan Davis there, and it didn't work out for him. Dan gets away well. Overtaker pulls into second place, and now is the chance for him to maybe use that Mustang's grunt up towards turn 2 and get ahead, as we just changed camera angles there. Apologies about that, we caught the wrong button on the keyboard. We are playing with these new cameras, so you will have to bear with us just momentarily. Went swimmingly last night, and as we can see then up the hill, it's already a good start for a few drivers up the pack. Darren Yeo's got himself in the thick of things as well, trying to get past the rear then of the Lexus in front of him. That is Richard Beasley just in front, who he's trying to get through. Everybody, though, Phil, through pretty cleanly.
Yeah, well, we're now in the very tight section of the circuit, so let's see how cleanly all 21 cars get through here, as Dan now heads towards Skyline.
Yeah, who's been the biggest loser and gainer at that? Paolo just dropping off the rear a little bit. Max Verkrashen has a bit of a wiggle up in front of Edward Blackmore, and they get past him there. Mike Matthews now having a look to attack the back of Max Verkrashen, spins him round, and into the wall goes Max Verkrashen, and Mike Matthews then tapped him into the wall there. He holds onto the brakes. Paolo gets through okay. That one will probably go into the stewards for sure, but Dan Davis already PN with an early lead in this race.
Where he needs to be, but how much grunt has the Lexus got compared with the Mustang? The Mustang will be in the slipstream.
It will be in the slipstream indeed, and that's going to be the interesting thing, is that Mustang in the slipstream compared to the Lexus didn't seem to make too many inroads at the moment. He's taking Skunky and Vienna with him as well. Max Mulder's got Wittrup, McGowan and Ben with them, with Richard Beasley, Darren Yeo, Jamal Clouden still there in 11th place as well. Diz down in 12th. He's made the step up to Pro, as is Tim Venting. Sky Schundelmeyer's on the back of him. Both are part of BSP Esports, and now Schundelmeyer maybe having a look at the inside of Tim Venting, thinks better of it. There is Emmanuel Machado, and then Daniel, Matt Wright from Edward Blackmore, Mike Matthews on the back of him, then it's Paolo and Max Verkrashen, who's only just coming down the mountain section now, but Dan Davis already stretching his legs a little bit. Looks like Vienna's the one who's trying to make some moves on the back of Skunky in that BMW.
It does, yeah. Be interested to see the top speed of the BM versus the Ferrari.
Well,
He's
the BM,
yeah,
he is having a look in towards turn 2. Great move from Vienna, that nice and clean from Skunky and Vienna. Great little bit of racing there. Back down towards McGowan. In fact, let's go back down towards Sky Schundelmeyer, who was on the back of his teammate Tim Venting, or I say teammate, the same stable team as Tim Venting, but yet not through. And Vienna's teammate of Machado trying to get onto the back of these guys as well. And they're trying to hunt down Diz. So already a few decent starts from elsewhere. There's a yellow flag. That is car number. Oh, that is Ben. Ben, and is that Vienna as well with him? It is Vienna. Oh, so he makes the move on Skunky and he's now in the wall up the mountain and is tumbling down the order. He's got huge damage. So Dan Davis with a slight lead. As we say good evening to Chloe Davis in the chat. Dan Davis with a slight lead over that Ford Mustang of Overtaker. And how many times have we seen these two go at it? And it's now the Lexus versus that Ford Mustang on board with Overtaker once again. There is Dan Davis just in front of him. Can Overtaker do anything about that Lexus? The grunt of the Mustang versus the Japanese-built Lexus. What will happen down the Conrad Straight in towards the chase? Mustang doesn't look like it's closing too much, though, for London.
No, into Lexus, the fastest car in the game, straight on.
So I'm led to believe, yeah, it is. Mustang closed right up on the back of Dan, though, through turn one. And now here comes Overtaker, having a good look on the outside of Dan a little later on the brakes, trying to go around the outside. Manages to get it stopped and can't quite get it done. But Dan Davis and Overtaker already going at it at the minute.
It's still a slow-moving car up in the mountain. I believe it's Vienna still.
That's 46. It is Vienna. McGowan has returned to the pit lane. So not the start to his race. I believe Vienna struggling to get going. So that car has got a bit of damage. Look at Paolo coming past Mike Matthews. And that is Matt Wright. They've both got damage equally to the front of their cars. So not sure what's happened in there. Sky Schundelmeyer, though, still staring at the back of Tim Venting, who also looks like he's got a bit of damage. Where is Darren Yeo in all of this? He's dropped down the order as Schundelmeyer now pulls out on that of Tim Venting. Pulls out again. Porsche versus Ferrari. Is Sky about to go up the inside? No, he's not. Just can't get past that at the moment.
No. There's watchers.
Daz got a bit of damage here as well, so I wonder if Daz got caught up in a bit of an incident somewhere. Pit window is open for the drivers. The Mustang has been restricted a little bit. No, I think it's gone from 15 k's to 13 or 11 kilograms. The BOP we have, we can show you there, the Ford Mustang plus 11 kilograms for this circuit. And Dan Davis, who's running that Lexus, running a little lighter, looking to win this race here. Go Ed up into 12th. We'll jump on board with Edward Blackmore in just a moment as Overtaker's possibly here. Phil, fastest lap of the race, going to try again on Dan Davis. Skunky's not out of this, so he's only 2 seconds behind.
Yeah, as Vienna's just made it to the pit lane, as the window has opened. So he's not going to have to do an extra pit stop.
Yeah, Daniel is also in the pits. He's just drove in as well. Did he just drive in or did he appear there? I'm not quite sure.
I think he drove in just as it started to open. Right.
So interesting to see. Well, I don't think Dan's going to pit at the moment. I don't think any of these top three are going to pit right now. I think they know what they've got to do. Max Mulder's up to 4th with Richard Beasley in 5th. Jamal Cloudon's up to 6th from 11th after qualifying, but obviously got past a couple of cars that was in front of him due to that chaos at the top of the hill. Nobody deciding to pit at the moment. I think that's a wise choice. Schundelmeyer's lost a bit of pace here too, that of Tim Venting. Daz trying to get in on the back of him. Then it's Ben who got caught up in the incident. Edward Blackmore as well looks like he's got a bit of damage. Chris saying in the chat that he saw the crash, went through the middle but got tapped. So obviously the incident had happened in front of Ben. So this is going to be interesting. Sebastian Wittrup in the pits. He has got damage. Mike Matthews in the pits. Matt Wright is also coming in. Paolo stays out. Crashing could come in. Daniel's in with damage. And McGowan will want to get back out there as well. Closest fight on circuit at the moment is Darren Yeo on the back then of Sky Schundelmeyer. And this could be absolutely key to see what happens in this race for Darren Yeo. Because while Schundelmeyer's dropping off the back of Tim a little bit, Darren seems to be getting closer.
Yeah, meanwhile, Taker's still within a second of Dan. Well, his Mustang reminds me of Darth Vader, actually, with the matte black, so let's call him Darth Vader from now on.
Sebastian Wittrup done, Mike Matthews done, Daniel is done, he's back out on his way, as is Mike Matthews, who didn't look like he's repaired damage, and Mike in and out for his stop. Neither did Wittrup, actually, he didn't repair damage as well. Vienna, Matt right now in also. Overtake, like I say, is right up the rear end of Dan Davis once again. And if we can, let's go on board with Dan Davis, who retook the fastest lap of this race. And this is looking back from the rear wing. Let's see how much that Overtaker can gain down the Conrad Straight.
It's not much in it, is it?
No, he's not really gaining a lot here, is he, Overtaker? In that powerful newer Ford Mustang and in the slipstream. Can't seem to stick with Dan Davis at the moment. Dan, lovely through the chase. And now we're going to see any of these two dive off into pit lane. No, we are not. They're going to stay out on track. And Overtaker seems to be closing in under the braking at the minute, Phil.
Yeah, under the braking the Mustang seems quite effective. And it likes curves, so...
Darren Yeo now a little closer to Sky Schundelmeyer. This on the rear wing of Schundelmeyer, and Darren Yeo's thinking, nope, not having any of this. I'm going straight into the pit lane. So Daz doesn't want a piece of that action. He's gone straight for the pit lane. You see him there on the helicopter shots that we can bring you around here. Vienna and McGowan still in the pits. Max for crashing didn't pit, so Witchrook came out ahead of him. Mike Matthews still behind him once again. Daz automatic and in, as is Emmanuel Machado. Paolo stays out. It's going to be interesting to see what Verkrashen will do also. But Overtaker within that half a second. You see from the helicopter shots there, Dan Davis comes into picture as Overtaker is on the brakes. That Mustang definitely better on its brakes than the Lexus.
Yeah, it's just see who does what in this short 20-minute race. So you don't need to change tyres at all unless it rained. But that's not forecast today. Be interesting to see what Mazzano's like next week. What was my trainer for? Didn't Paolo... No, Paolo hasn't come in the pitch yet, has he?
No, he hasn't.
Because if he hasn't put the 1 litre of fuel in.
So Machado still in, Vienna and McGowan still into pit lane. Look how much Overtaker closes down that down the hill section of this Mount Panorama circuit. But then he just can't do anything, can he, on this straight? That Lexus, like you say, quickest car we believe in a straight line. Skunky, though, is starting to close in, chipping a couple of tenths away out of Overtaker's time.
Yeah, and if he hits right behind Overtaker's got to think about defending as well as attacking down.
Would you be thinking maybe undercut with a short pit window? Because obviously it makes it a little bit more difficult now. Having that Taker is in. Taker is straight into the pits. He is not messing around. So Overtaker then comes into the pit lane, and it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. Just dropping that back down towards Tim Venting now, as he is trying to close in on Diz. Diz decides to jump into the pit lane then. So everybody else has stayed out. Sky Schundelmeyer has dropped right off the back of Tibbs as well. Ben is also in. Looks like Edward Blackmore's going to come in as well. Yes, he does. Into the pits comes Blackmore.
Ben's in. Paolo is now coming to the chase. Just see if Darren Yeo can jump B's.
Great to have Paolo back, isn't it? Haven't had him since the PS4 days, and it's great to see him back out on the circuit.
Yeah, he's obviously upgraded to a PS5. Just check, yeah, he is on PS5. I can see the PlayStation logo. Just to make sure. Right.
Nope, stays out.
Just for crashing.
Yeah, just for crashing at the moment. Vienna's done his pit stop. McGowan looks like that is a retirement from the race early doors.
Yeah, as the crashing is in. Yeah, McGowan's car looks repaired, but never give up, people, because you get a strike for not finishing the race.
Yeah, exactly. Closest fight on track then. Skunky's actually set the fastest lap. He's only 2.1 off the back of Dan Davis, so Skunky now putting in a good few lap times here.
Is he attacking to jump Overtaker?
Possibly so. Dan Davis coming up to the back of a spit of traffic. That is Matt Wright he's coming up to the back of. Obviously, Dan still to... I think you pit now. There's also car 46. That's Vienna just in front of Matt Wright. And then just ahead of him is Emmanuel Machado. So I think you pit now. Avoid that traffic. Dan's smart enough as well. He's staying to the left-hand side. In comes Dan.
Skunky's wide.
Skunky
stays out.
Give it, yeah. He's got time. It's only 2 minutes to a lap, so he's got time to stay out. Max Mulder does as well. Beasley does. Jamal Clouden straight into the pits. That doesn't surprise me too much for Clouden. Probably getting a bit close to Beasley. Tim stays out. Sky Schundelmeyer comes in. Overtake stayed out ahead of Paolo. So this is going to be crucial. Overtake's already through the chase now. It is a short pit lane here. I think it's only 19 seconds for a drive-through. 1 litre is about 3 seconds. So you're only looking about 20-odd seconds in and out. Dan Davis is now away. Here comes Overtaker. Let's go to the overhead camera. There's Dan Davis. And Overtaker going the extra lap has jumped him.
The undercut works again.
So the undercut has worked for Overtaker, and he didn't win a single race last season. And can he be on for a race 1 win here at the start of this season? This is going to be absolutely fantastic, PN. Dan Davis now we work to do, because that is a pretty good gap for Overtaker to have over Dan Davis.
But Skunky is pushing. He is really throwing that Ferrari.
He's got to pit this lap. He's not going to make another one after this. So everybody who hasn't pitted has got to pit now. And Skunky, well, his teammate may have retired from this race, but he is on the charge at the moment.
He's pushing on, isn't he? So see if he can do it. Because he was catching Dan, so...
He was. Just at the fastest lap of the race, Jamal Cloudens came out of the pits, and he's got Darren Yeo, Sky Schundelmeyer and Ben. Darren Yeo's jumped Sky Schundelmeyer in the pits and has nearly jumped Jamal Clouden. So this is the fight we're watching here between Fat Blokes Bandits, Team SPR and the 2 BSP racing cars.
Again, the undercut, because Dad's pitted before him.
Yeah. And he nearly jumped pair of them. Nearly jumped Clouden as well, and Clouden in his Mercedes-Benz this season. Interesting move for Clouden. Half the Greasy Bandit stable have gone Mercedes-Benz. I think there's only 2 of them that haven't. That's Dean and Justin Winter. Obviously Diz as well going in the BMW. Jamal now has...
Oh! Skunky lost it in pit lane. He spun it in pit lane.
So Skunky spun in the pit lane. Max Mulder's got the jump on him. Richard Beasley's nearly close. So Overtaker should get through pretty comfortably, as should Dan. Back to this Jamal Clouden fight, though, because can that Ferrari gain on Jamal down the straights? He's trying to gain after his teammate Diz as well, so possibly for a bit of support. But Jamal Clouden at the moment, well, that'll help him in terms of getting ahead of Skunky and Beasley and maybe Max Mulder. Tim Venting also into the pits. None of them have gone green, apart from Max Mulder now, who's the first one to go and away. Richard Beasley's now green. He hasn't yet moved. He moves now. Skunky still stationary. And Tim Venting also goes green, so whatever Skunky's done, he's lost out all these places. And where does Jamal Clouden appear? There he is, going onto the helicopter camera. He's just going to get ahead of Skunky, is he? Through the corner he goes. Yes, he does. Daz Automatic may get past him as well. Yes, he does. Darren Yeo gains a place, and that's all because Skunky lost it in the pit lane.
Yeah, he just lost it, and I just jumped back to him, and his car was facing the way you come in. It's a pit lane, which is not ideal. Dan's gained second on Taker. But
yes, but
4
still
minutes left, that's 2
3.7.
match. Minimum of 2 laps. Skunky has dropped from a podium to behind Sky.
Yeah.
Without mistake.
He has. And that's what it can happen, though, isn't it? One incident and that's it.
Yeah. Oh, I believe Daz was in the wall.
Oh, Daz! Yeah, he's in the wall. Caught Skunky and he's also caught Schundelmeyer. But I believe Darren lost it all on his own. And he's been in the wall.
Yeah.
And him and Skunky can't seem to move. Where's Ben? He's got through. Whichup's through. Mike Matthews is coming up to this. And through he goes. Hopefully all stays
Skunky's
relatively safe. Skunky's returned to the pits. So is Darren Yeo. So both return to the pits. Well, they've completed the 75% race distance, so they will score points. But yeah, that's a shame. Skunky with fastest lap as well. Dan's lost even more time to overtake her. That gap 6.1 seconds.
Yeah, that's just how it is. The mountain bites you.
Yeah, it does.
Survive here in the wet.
We said this, me and Dan said this last night. Tim Venting now has got Diz, who was a challenger to Tim and Max last season, right on the back of him. Max Mulder on for a podium in Pro on his first outing. Tim Venting for BSP in fourth. This is an absolute fantastic occasion for the pair of them.
Yeah.
Tim's now got to try and survive. Diz, Richard Beasley and Jamal Clouden all getting pretty close as they come down the start straight.
They are, and that just looked like, I think Daz just touched the dirt. And
yeah.
That spot launched the Ferrari around. And because Sky was so close, he just caught up in it.
Yeah, he did, and that was a problem. Sky actually came out the best
reasonably
out of all of them. Yeah, he actually came out the best. Here comes Beasley then, attacking the back of Diz, round the outside of turn 2. Richard Beasley on the marble, so does he clip the wall? No, he doesn't. Jamal Clouden's going to be invested now in trying to get past him as up the towards the cutting they come. Jamal Clouden now on the back of Richard Beasley, can't get through though at the moment.
You've got there's two types of people overtaking through the mountain section of Bathurst. Either very, very brave, or
Very, very stupid.
something crazy.
Yeah. Well, Ben's now gaining on the back of Sky Schundelmeyer. So I wonder if Sky will let him through. Maybe Ben with a little more pace due to that damage that Sky may have sustained.
Oh, Cloudon's on the grass.
Due to clipping Daz Automatic. Cloudon on the grass then. Manages to save it though. He's managed to go all right. I wonder if Tibbs will if Sky will let Ben go down on the straight.
Maybe, because we did have in the rule that you can't, like, even back markers do not let people.
No, but Sky's not a back marker, so they can fight for position. But it's
too early for
it's
two
the
balls.
I'm just thinking though, with you've got Witcher up there on the back of you. Sky's got. We don't know the extent of Sky's damage due to contact with Darren Yeo and Skunky there. If it comes under pressure, is that going to be a case? There's Diz now round the outside of the little kink. Is he going to look up the inside in towards the chase? No, he's not. Manages to stay ahead, stay behind Tim Ventic, but he's coming under pressure now from that of Richard Beasley. And is Richard going to try and look up the inside towards the final corner? No, he is not this time around. And on board of the rear of Diz, there you can see Richard Beasley. So far, so good. If you are overtaker in this race, final lap of it. There is Sky Schundelmeyer with Ben just behind. Sebastian Wittrup as well now within that capacity of overtaking Ben. Where is Edward in this race? Down in 13th place, just behind Paolo. Paolo's strategy has worked out an absolute treat in a minute. He's running P12.
Yeah. On his return.
Yeah. Oh, Richard Beasley getting sideways as we go on board with Diz. Richard Beasley had a big wiggle coming out of turn 2, trying to get past Diz there.
Again, you've got to be very
and now Cloudon's on them.
Taker's just gone through Skyline. He's on the downhill section.
Keeping an eye on where Overtaker is.
Dan's lost it! Dan's lost it! He spun!
He has spun! And where is Max Mulder? Max Mulder's going to come through and pick up second place. Dan tries to get back going once again. And well, he's fortunate that Tim is so far back at the moment, because Dan Davis has put it in the wall on the downhill section.
I don't think he hit the wall. I think he just lost the rear. Because I was watching Taker through towards the...
Oh, Richard Beasley's just clipped the wall coming into the elbow. Looks pretty okay though for now. And I think Cloudon just clipped the exit of the wall, but we go to Overtaker, who's going to come through the chase for the final time in this race. And what a start to his season. Did not win a single race last time out. But for Overtaker, he's going to take the honours in this one. Absolutely fantastic for him. He is back to being a race winner at SimPlay Motorsport. He wins the first race of the season. Max Mulder, your Pro-Am champion, probably thinks he's dreaming. He's going to come through for P2. That is a great drive for Max Mulder. Defending champion Dan Davis will come through for P3. Tim Benting P4. What a day for the BSP Esports team. Diz will take P5 ahead of Richard Beasley. Jamal Cloudon P7. We drop back a little bit for Sky Schundelmeyer, who will come home P8. Ben will take P9. Wittrup will take P9. Ben's P10 ahead of Mike Matthews, who's a little further down. He's coming to finish his lap now. P11 for him. Back to Paolo, who's a little further behind as well. Richard Beasley has done well. P6 for him. What a start to nice Paolo, who is coming to the line now. He'll be P12. Then it'll be Edward Blackmore. He's going to come across for P13. Max for crashing. Looks like he's going to be P14 after suffering that first lap incident or second lap incident with Mike Matthews. Daniel has finished down. That is DLs, I do believe, has finished down in P17. D-Max, sorry, 17 for him. Yes, here goes Max for crashing. There's Emmanuel Machado. Here comes Matt Wright. And then Skunky still in the pits. So Wittrup came across the line, P9. Good result for him. No Gary Leach. Darren Yeo in the pits, 19th for him. Will score points. Skunky P20. O'Reilly's not here tonight. McGowan DNF'd in this race. Matt Wright P16. Machado crossed the line in P15. Vienna A couple of laps down, but P18 got back out the pits and got going. So only missing Harris, Gary Leach and O'Reilly from this race. Well, what an opener to the season. We'll be back there in a couple of moments' time. Don't go anywhere. Clear.
Right, we see my Amazon parcels to be arrived. Oh, take it with the under to that. Dan's got to learn that.
Kicking himself a little bit, I reckon.
Yep. Right, I'll be back in a sec.
There it is, dude.
They didn't even knock, apparently. Fucking useless. Oh. Matthew. I'll open the box in a little while.
You what?
I'll open the box in a little while.
As it came.
Yeah, they didn't even knock on the door apparently.
Brilliant.
So it was left outside. At least it's not bloody raining.
Getting some washing out radiators a second, dude. Bear with me. What have we got?
Hick. Hick, hick. I bet you missed it.
Excuse me.
You're not excused. It wasn't loud enough.
I'm going to talk next to my mic.
I'm just being weird.
I was going to say, what's tickled you?
No, Tim's saying he's like, was like McQueen. I went, you can't be, Max is 95.
Hey.
So he just went, oh, it must be Cal Weathers then.
Cal Weathers. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I love it, though. I love the banter sometimes you can get with him.
Yeah, that's good bands from Tim Knoll, isn't it?
Yeah, but I tell you what, I think Taker's on it today. He's hungry.
Yeah, looks it, doesn't he? Mustang.
He looks.
Second win for the Mustang.
Taker's hungry, I think. I don't think Skunky's going to put in for a collision with Daz because it was his fault.
Yeah,
Skunky
I think so,
said
yeah.
that he hit Daz's spinning car and there was just nothing he can do. Because it's all good and well grabbing your brakes, but you got to wait for a minute for cars to stop spinning first, haven't you? Do you know, one of the videos where I'm just messing about has now got 2 point something 1k views.
Nice.
I think it's because I did a Thomas character in it, because I had Gordon in it.
Right, yeah.
So I might have to start buying more of the Thomas characters.
Yeah,
Next one
possibly
will
so.
be Toby, because Toby's a chaotic.
Toby's a shed on wheels.
Yeah, and he's also local for East Anglia. Fuck yeah.
Oh, here we go then. Blue build.
And Thomas is a prick. Yeah, 2.2k views.
That's good though.
Okay, only average duration is only 42 seconds. But don't matter. People click on it. That's all that counts, isn't it?
Yep, exactly. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own, blue moon, blue moon.
Oh, I'd be funny if Max won Pro.
Could you actually fucking imagine?
Yeah, win Pro-Am.
I could go mad. See, told you, it's brown paste.
Yeah, but technically Hypertech should be in Pro.
I think he's basically telling his missus next season it don't matter what, I'm racing.
When you're with someone, you've got to take compromises. Hell, my missus don't like trains.
Yeah, but they're,
Or
they're
the
living in a
video
one-bedroom
games.
house, right? Living in a one-bedroom house. So he's got nowhere else to do his gaming. That's his problem, yeah? Same like Kieran. If Kieran had a second telly and a bit of a bigger office, he'd be able to put his rig in there. Fine, understand that. But what is the difference of saying, we'll watch telly Wednesday night, just not Thursday night because I'm racing? But I'm not racing Wednesday night now.
Yeah, I'm just swapping the day. It don't make sense.
No, I can't fathom it.
It's like, does Emily stand just doing this?
But Emily's got, you got to think about it. So last week I worked Monday, worked Sunday, worked Tuesday.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday I've got, the next 2 Tuesdays after this, so next week and the week after, I've got work straight onto racing for the next 2 Tuesdays. Then comms on this, then comms on this again. Then any other work I have, then Racing Unleashed at the studio.
But this is work as well, because this is money from ad revenue.
Oh, she's always classed this as work. Yeah, she's always classed this as work, even when it wasn't getting money.
Yeah. Like my YouTube channel, that's work. Okay,
Takes a while to build, and that's what she
I'm
understands.
442 subscribers before I start getting anything, but this was set up a Patreon.
Oh, what are we? We've got quite a few subscribers now. I think we were 770 before tonight's stream.
Yeah, it takes time. I know it takes time. God,
4 years this channel's been going. 4 years.
I've had my Twitch for 10 years, and I'm still and that barely grows at all. That's at 520. Because I don't play games like everyone else plays.
Yeah.
I don't want to play.
I've
Fortnite.
noticed I get more from Football Manager than I do from racing.
Bit like me with the train videos.
Like the recent couple of days. Yesterday, for example, I got 3 new followers. Right.
Yeah, right, we're in quality.
5, 4. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to SimPlay Motorsport as we head into the second qualifying of the evening. It was a win for Overtaker in the first race that bags him the fantastic prize of being top of the championships for this opening round. We won't go through the championship standings because obviously it's race order at the moment, but we will go through them at the end of the evening. What a start to the season though, Phil. It had a bit of everything. Dramas for drivers, but it seemed their own mistakes in which the mountain can do to you.
Yeah, but if you get something wrong here, this place bites, and it bites hard. I've seen many a 12 hours of Bathurst in real life where it's bitten. I think it's like the Nürburgring where it chooses who it wants to win.
Yeah. Kind of, it picks you.
And Le Mans, actually. You're picked to win.
Well, at the minute, we've got a bit of a race happening out there on the track. Tim Venting, or is it Tim or is it Max Mould? I'm not quite sure on the number. We're on board with Diz, though, and you've got one of the BSP boys trying to get past him. He's now backed off coming down the mountain, but was trying to give him the hurry up. Think he wanted that clean air. And talking from experience based on Tuesday night, you want to be that first car out there. You want as much clean air as possible. Granted, less cars on this grid than on Tuesday night and than last night, so there is that little bit more space to get it.
Yeah, pity we can't have the rubble we had built up from the last 2 nights of racing.
Similar weather, though. Sorry, folks. While you're speaking about the rubber, similar weather to last night, just a little warmer. Not as much cloud level, but still quite cloudy and gloomy here. You can see the lights from the cars actually shining onto the track a little bit.
Yeah, well, it was really warm for the GT4s, wasn't it? So, as you would have found out, taking 2 of the 3 wins, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as Meatloaf once saw.
As
Max has returned to pits.
So Max returns to the pit lane. We're going to go on board with Diz for his lap. First driver to set a lap time. As I believe that's Max Mulder coming out of the pit lane now. He's going to have to instantly make sure he's not in Diz's way, and indeed he does. So I believe it was Max Mulder that maybe pitted behind Diz. He's got Overtaker coming down to turn 1. Overtaker's got a good gap between himself and Diz. Yes, Max Mulder's in the middle, but Max can't really get involved with Diz. He's going to back off, but not really be in Overtaker's way at the same time.
No, and everyone's all similar places. Out of this sort, really. Well, Diz is a bit slower than Taker. as Taker was probably pretty much nearly fastest man in race 1, apart from
Skunky.
Skunky got the fastest lap.
So we're coming up the mountain now, on board with Diz in his BMW M4. Beautiful car. Just using all them curbs, getting as close to the walls as he possibly can.
I personally think they should have ran the McDonald's like the rest of FBR.
There's flicking it through towards the right hand. There's now down the hill. This is the real tricky section of the circuit, Phil.
Yeah, Max has gone off and already returned to pits.
15 minutes to qualify, so he's got time to come back on. Hard on the brakes now. Downhill he comes and in towards the left hand of Elbow. Now onto the Conrod straight. This is going to be huge for Diz to take a good lap here.
It is. He's got nice clear track. The next car ahead of him is now got heading towards the final corner. Murray's?
Yeah, Murray's is the final corner. Doesn't be the first man set a lap time. It is Overtaker who is behind him, who will set the next one after that. Mike got out behind it. Yeah, Mike got out. He's got a good bit of space. Where's Dan? Dan's got a good gap in front of him. Dan's just started his lap. And that is the key around here, isn't it? His track position, as there is a spinner in front of Dan. Returns to the pit lane to car 81. That was Paolo, as here comes Diz. Set his lap time. It is a 2:03.4, and he is going to return to the pit lane. Overtaker now down the start straight towards the line. He goes pole by 2.1 seconds. Heck of a lap from Overtaker there. What can Mike Matthews do then as he comes towards the line? Doesn't set a lap time. The 1-2-3 then of Emmanuel Machado also goes P3 now. It's a good lap from him. Car 28
did into P2.
He did indeed. So Sky Schundelmeyer moving up into that second place. Great time for him. Edward Blackmore moves up into P5. Going to drop to 140 of Ben as Darren Yeo goes into fourth place. 1.9 off the pole at the minute, not far off the back of Emmanuel Machado. Ben now moves up into second place. Heck of a lap there from Ben. What about Paolo Viana in this next car for him? Sebastian Wittrup will be after. Paolo Viana now moves up into P2. What about Sebastian Wittrup? What can he do as we await for the 664 of Ian McGowan? Wittrup to the line. He goes now up into second place. Ian McGowan retired from race 1. No points for him. What will he do here? He now moves up to P3. Heck of a qualifying lap from him. Jamal Cloud, not quite seen the best of Jamal that we saw last season. Where's he going to move? He now goes up into second place. Heck of a qualifying lap there. Richard Beasley will be the next man before Dan Davis comes towards the line. Richard Beasley invalidated his lap, so will not improve. What can Dan Davis do now then?
Maybe have a Lexus. Because I believe
Michael Harris is in one. Yeah, Harris is in one. Does Dan go pole there? Dan did go pole by half a tenth. We're watching Skunky come towards the line before Daniel in the Ferrari. Skunky crosses the line. He goes P8. What about Daniel now? He's going to come to the line down the order. Currently in 21st, not yet set a lap time. Crosses the line now, goes up to P12. Back to Taker now then.
Back to Tate. Back round again. So Overtaker as he comes into the chase. In Darth Vader's helmet. It really does look like that. You know.
I know what you're saying.
Need a little bit of red on it. Like, put the red auxiliary lights on there. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Oh, bit of a wiggle out the final corner from Overtaker, but manages to find nearly 0.2 of a second. What about Mike Matthews now, who validated his first lap, comes to the line now, goes up into P6. We'll go back to Emmanuel Machado. Can't wait for the next endurance event. The win in Spa was a very good feeling indeed. It was for you, Alpine. Great drive from you and the team. As Machado
hopefully the servo hold.
P12. Darren Yeo is P14 at the moment. Drops down to 15th now that someone else improves on their time. What will he do? Improves up to P12. 135. That is Matt Wright, currently in 12th place now as a driver or two knock him down a position. Matt Wright to the line. Improves up to P9. Good lap time from the new driver. Sebastian Wittrup to the line. 46 of Vienna moves up to 7th place. And here comes Wittrup. Can he find 0.6 of a second? Oh, nearly does. Finds half second. Goes in front of Dan Davis. Car 36. That is Jamal Clouden. Little off the pace at the moment. What can he find around here so far, though? Here comes Jamal Clouden to the line. Doesn't improve that time. 17 of Richard Beasley. Didn't get a lap time in a moment ago. So he's going to try and get a lap time in now. This is going to be huge for Richard Beasley. To the line goes 18th. Not the best lap from Beasley. What about Dan Davis then? Needs to find just under 2/10, finds more, goes and finds himself nearly 5/10 of a second, goes almost 3/10 off the pole. That's the first time we've seen someone drop into the 2 minutes all throughout this week and throughout the practice session. So Dan Davis on the pace at the moment. Skunky moves himself up into P5. And car 98 of Daniel is going to come around the final corner. The 1-2-3 is the next man to settle up. That is Machado as Daniel goes ahead of him. Machado down in 17th place at the moment. PN, great qualifying lap like that from Dan.
Yeah, I was supposed to get really excited and I went deaf like we did to Suzuka last season.
Yeah, not quite the end of qualifying yet. That was at the very death. I think I would have done as always, but we'll wait and see. Great to have Alpin in the chat, one of our endurance drivers here at SimPlay Motorsport. We'll get the endurance lobby set up over the weekend for Bathurst. Machado looks like he's backed out of this lap, so 3-3 of Max Verkrashen. What I love about Max Verkrashen is, because I'm not a Red Bull fan, I'm just going to state that, he's got a Red Bull colour. Gone for the name, gone for the colour. I like that. Respect.
Well, he's done for the matte blue, hasn't he? But I think the only Red Bulls I really like is, when we had the bit of purple in them. The 2014,
I really liked
24 car.
The white Istanbul one. That was a special livery.
For the Japanese Grand Prix once up. But
no, I think it was for Istanbul. Oh, was it? No, it was for Japanese. They ran one as well for Istanbul that I quite like.
Yeah, well, they ran at Istanbul because the Japanese Grand Prix didn't happen.
That's right.
COVID.
Vienna goes through up into P4. Good lap from him. Car 17, that's Beasley, who's about to come through. Remember, if you are new to the channel, to hit that thumbs up button and the bell to be notified, as well as subscribe to the channel if you are new, as it really does help. We've gained some 15 subscribers in the last 2 nights. Don't know what we've gained tonight, but we are getting closer to that 800 mark, and that is a massive effort thanks to you, the audience at home. Richard Beasley goes P14. Dan Davis says he's on an invalid lap, so let's see if he improves here.
Is there any other Astons in Pro?
No, I think there is only Ben. That is the only other Aston in Pro.
Because Alex didn't sign up, apparently.
Yeah, Alex had to work commitments, I believe, is what Alex has had to miss for the 98. I believe Ben is the only Aston in the championship. We'll double check that.
O'Reilly in Mustang.
Oh no, no, apologies. O'Reilly is the Mustang. Is the Aston Martin. Apologies. Yeah, O'Reilly in Pro is the only other Aston Martin.
But he's not here this week because I believe he's having wheel.
He sent his wheel back off to Fanatec to be repaired, and he's waiting for it back.
That might be forever then.
Well,
might as well go to game or somewhere.
Haven't they? They've just been brought out. I believe it's on its way. It's just waiting for it to be shipped here from Germany. So here we go then. Here comes Emmanuel Machado, next driver to complete his lap. So this is going to be interesting to see what he can do across the line. Not been as strong, it looks like, as the old Honda days for Machado at the moment. Crosses line down in P18 at the moment. The 333 of Verkrashen goes up to P18. We're looking for the 46 of Vienna. Machado's teammate next.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Paolo. See if Paolo does a valid lap in his Brazilian McLaren.
Oh, there we go.
Brazilian.
Ben's teacher has started watching and subscribed. So, Ben's teacher, if you are in the chat, give us a hello. And hey, maybe you ought to tell your classmates, like and subscribe to SimPlay Motorsport, teach it in one of your lessons. Give him a media lesson. And teach it to one of your classes. And we'll see what they can do. Dan Davis was on a lap. That's invalidated now. Everybody's set a lap time. Dan looks like he's going to return to the pits. Next car on a valid lap is the 98 of Daniel. So let's go on board with him.
Taker's now heading into the mountain section.
Daniel 1.9 off the back. Edward Blackmore's in the pit. A lot of new drivers. Great to see so many new faces out here, Phil.
Yeah, there's another reason why I've stopped racing. Let the others come in who are better than me. And I prefer watching the show than being in it.
Diz moves up to 18th. Not the best qualifying lap from Diz. Daniel didn't improve. The 1-2-3 is the next car on a lap.
Taker's now at Skyline. I'm surprised no one shows the GTR.
No, Ben isn't Mr. Jag. That is Nexus, Benny Varga. He's not racing today. Ben is a Ben me and Dan actually met at Thruxton. We have to thank Kelly Davis for speaking to Ben's dad at Thruxton and recruiting Ben. Because he's been a great
Yeah.
addition. SimPlay Motorsport really has been a fantastic driver.
Overtaker's done. He's just pulled to the side of the road.
Interesting. He did have a bit of time left to do one more lap.
Oh, he's now going out again, so
He's got time to get one more lap in. Vienna is in the pits. We was watching Insert Coin there, who did move up a place. The 664, sorry, is next to line. That is Ian McGowan. Not the best of race ones for Ian McGowan. Got to go again though in race 2. It's an hour long as well, so a lot different, Phil.
Yeah, and the pit window opens with 35 minutes of the race to go. So that's a long way to go to the pit stop until the pit window opens. Especially if you get damaged, which is highly likely here at Bathurst. But it could be worse. It could be the Nordschleife.
Benny doesn't actually have a PS5 for the Endurance. He borrows his friend's PS5 for the Endurance. That's why we don't see Ben on. Ben's biggest flex is being the youngest. Does that still stand? Believe it still stands, Chris. Yes, I do believe it still stands. 75 next towards the line. That is Diz. Bit off the pace. Good race pace from Diz, but not currently the qualifying pace.
Probably do what you do, like set the car up for a race instead of qualifying.
As we say good evening to Gaza, brackets old sim racer who was on the grid last night and in GT4s. Good luck, lads, racing. Top comms as usual. Thank you very much for the kind words to Gaza there in the chat. Diz towards the line. He's going to go up to P15. Finds himself near enough. A second of 36. Jamal Clouden is in the thick of a chase on Max McCrash, and he's 7th place at the moment. The 135 then of Matt Wright. 1.2 off the pace. Not a massively spread out grid, this, is it? I know there's a bit of a gap down to Paolo, but in terms of racing, this is going to be close, and Matt Wright stays 12th.
Well, I think some of it's just to survive this round, because this is the hardest circuit this season.
Obviously, drop scores come into it as well, don't they, next week? That's going to take effect as well.
Yeah, and when we head to Mazzano in Italy.
Which I believe is that a morning race?
It is a morning race, so...
Yeah, I thought so.
It might be wet as well as...
Because we go in, don't we, to our back-to-back morning and then night races. Machado gets a final lap on the board, so McGowan will be the first man to finish. And then where is the calendar at the moment? Mike's added a few new channels. There we go. So the calendar... Yeah,
Dan's done.
Davis is done then. Evening race for Misano. Kyle Army's a night race. Then we go to Laguna, Monza, Snetterton, Barcelona, Valencia will be the morning race. So that is going to be interesting to see what is what. As McGowan moves up to P3 as he crosses the line. Mike Matthews, is he on a better lap? He improves, stays P10. Car 81, that is Paolo down in 21st place. Comes round the final corner now. Can Paolo improve on his P21 at the moment? No, stays P21st. Diz and the next man towards the line here. Everybody's still on a lap. Dan's still going at the moment.
Here comes Disley.
Needs just a 10th. Oh no, put him ahead of Sky Schundelmeyer and Richard Beasley. But I believe they're on another lap. Dan returns to the pit lane then. So we're then looking out for the 333 of Max McCrash. Diz goes ahead of Sky and Richard Beasley. Safan a bit more than a 10th. What about Max McCrash? He needs a 10th. Goes ahead of Machado as well. Here comes the other Ferrari of Skunky. Moves up into P6. Heck of a lap. Now then overtaker. 0.3 of a second. What have you got in the locker, Sunshine?
Who knows? In the big magnificent Mustang.
Get ready for your ears, Phil. Get ready for your ears.
I'm going to take the headset off. Ready.
Misano is an evening race. It is indeed. Probably rain forecast as well. Top 10 is pretty close. The lobby will be set after this for the evening races. Here comes Overtaker. Gets within 72 thousandths of a second. Wasn't able to take the pole. What about Emmanuel Machado? Needs a 100th. Finds a lot more. Goes ahead of Daniel and Max for crashing. But it is Dan Davis back-to-back pole positions. Takes Lexus's first. Takes Lexus's second. He takes the Lexi's second pole position. As we'll go with that one. Mike Matthews, then, as I input the data, 10th place. Emmanuel Machado down in 18th. Paulo Viana is in P4. Pair of 4th places in qualifying for him. Not too bad. Richard Beasley down in 15th place. He'll be disappointed with that one. No Michael Harris this week. He is away, so hopefully he'll be back. Obviously, this will then count as his drop round for the season. Max Mulder, where did he qualify? P7, not bad from him. Tim Venting, P9 as well. Good qualifying for them. Witchup in P5 with Daniel down in 19th. No Gary Leach this week. He's actually down in Cornwall. Could have probably borrowed Kelly Davis's Simrig for tonight. Darren Yeo, not as good a qualifying this time round, only 16th fastest for him. Sky Schundelmeyer, 14th fastest. Ben, P11. No O'Reilly. Obviously, we know that he's waiting for the wheel to come back from Fanatec, hoping to be there on Tuesday. Reverse grid, no ballast. O'Reilly will be absolutely loving that. Paolo down in 21st. The Crashin down in 20th. Overtaker second place. Skunky up in P6. McGowan on that second row in P3. Clouden only 8th place. Not been the best qualifyings for Clouden here. That's something that he improved on as the season went by last season, wasn't it? Didn't qualify strong at the start. Really qualified well towards the end. Edward Blackmore P17 and Matt Wright P12 rounding out the grid. Phil, who's your race winner going to be?
I think it's Overtaker. I think he's very hungry, is Overtaker. So yeah, I'm going to go for Taker.
I'm going to go Dan Davis in this one. I'll just see if he can make a comeback in this race and get back to where he should be after that first race. Poll going out. If you think someone else will win, comment in the chat who you think it will be. Looking out at the comments then, possibly rain forecast as well. Indeed, there could be. Let's go Sky, says Tracy. It's a Toyota, says Chris.
Took a while to move in.
Is he moving now?
He is, yeah.
Let's get to the helicam. Rob Smith, I'm in Cornwall. He could have raced here, says Rob about Gary. Sky's racing in his new rig. Let's go, buddy. Oh, he is racing in the new rig. I saw this comment last night. And by the way, I think we said it last night, but great to hear that Tracy and Tibbs are well. Obviously, Hurricane Helene, who swept Florida. You know, great to see that they're okay and all safe.
I've got a few friends who are that way as well, who I play Ark with. Completely different game. If you like dinosaurs, yeah.
Damien Hibbs, I'm from Cornwall as well. We're taking over this chat. Vote for Skunky, vote Sky, says Tibbs. There we go. Skunky and Sky get a vote. So then, Rob Smith and Damien Hibbs. Here's the biggest question of the evening.
Oh, no,
right? It's got to be asked. Done. It's got to be done.
It's got to be asked.
Are Ginsters a proper Cornish pasty? That can be another poll for another time.
Oh, no.
You know,
we're in October, so I'm surprised you don't start doing Christmas stuff.
Did you see what radio station got put on the other day? Was you in the party when I was on about it?
Yeah.
Hot Christmas come on the radio the other day. Bublé will be on soon. Hey.
Oh no.
Have a holly jolly Christmas.
I'd rather listen to Mariah.
She's coming. She's defrosting. She's on her way.
I'd rather listen to Mariah.
Apparently Ginsters aren't a Cornish pasty. He says absolutely not. But they are a company based in Cornwall. So technically, they have to be a Cornish pasty. Diz to make up 12 places at the start. Damien, if Diz makes up 12 places at the start, whew, what a start that'll be. Jay and Tony say yes.
Well, of course Jay would.
Right, so go. That's another debate for another day. You know, you've missed a few endurance races, Chris, back when we used to race project cars too. Damn. We used to pineapple on pizzas. Now you have your cheese on toast.
Oh,
we've had all sorts. No, Ginsters are not pasties.
Pineapple in general. No.
Ginsters are a Cornish company, so I don't see why the people hate on Ginsters. They're not too bad.
They don't taste that nice, to be honest.
Yeah, I know they don't, but just for the sake of the argument.
I mean, when they used to sponsor Ting
Tommy Grumman,
BTCC, and their stands were there, you only just go see them. Just,
well, that was the thing, that when Tom Ingram had it, you know, they was just giving away free Ginsters and cutting them up, and that was the first time James actually tried a pasty, because he'd normally refuse to eat pasties at home, and then it's like, oh, Tom Ingram sponsored by Ginsters. Oh, right, I'll try one now. It's like, oh, I like this. Like, funny that. Jam first, cream second. The only brand pasty worth having is Rose. Best to go independent. It even says nation's favourite Cornish pasty on their website. Watching from Ibiza, that's where Harris is. It's alright for some, isn't it? Currently on my Holly Bobs, but I'll be back from Misano. Come on, Beasley. Okay. Cheers for the offer, Harris. I didn't want to go. It's all right.
I don't want to go IB, but I don't like hot countries in the first place.
I'd love to be warm, to be fair. At least my back would be fine. So you're going Overtaker. I'm going to go Dan. Race 2 is about to start. We've got our Cornish pasty debate out the way. If you haven't hit that like button, please make sure you do. Yeah, exactly. If you haven't hit that like button, please make sure you do so. And also, while you're on the channel, hit that bell to be notified and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Also, check out our fantastic sponsors in the comments. Design Manchester, producers of vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts, mugs, printed clothing and much more, including SimPlay Motorsport merchandise. Head to their Facebook page, link is in the description. As well as go and check out Audio Sport, manufacturer of VW Transporter, T4 Audio Solutions and styling products. Head over to www.audiosport.co.uk and their Facebook group, both links in the description. As for round 2 of the Pro season, we are, Phil,
as Rocky would say,
green and go, and Overtaker was actually in front of Dan at the start there by a whole car length. Dan's had to tuck him behind Overtaker straight away. Dan's going to the outside line, he's gone deep, and here comes Ian McGowan, who's going to try, Paolo Viana, who's going to try and look on the inside, watch him be the outside for turn 2 on that Lexus. The Lexus got a good exit though. Dan managed to just got it a little wrong, and here comes then Sebastian Wittrup on Paolo Viana. That's Ian McGowan on Paolo Viana. No, it's not, it might even be Max Mulder. It's not even Max. I don't know which blue Ferrari it is, but he's got through. But Tim. Overtaker got a decent start. It's not Tim. It is actually Skunky. So we've gone through all the Ferraris bar Skunky. So Skunky gets through. And you have to say, Overtaker was a bit ahead of Dan Davis there, not really alongside. And yeah, I know that one's been mentioned in the past by Overtaker himself back when Nash was around. But Dan Davis will have to come and fight through here. There is a yellow flag at the back of the pack. That is Richard Beasley. Oh, it's carnage.
Oh, hang on, let me...
Darren Yo's involved, Richard Beasley's involved, Machado, Daniels there, Max McCrash and Paolo. They can't move, they're waiting for Beasley to get it into reverse. There's also another McLaren, that is Edward Blackmore, who has been involved. Absolute chaos down the bottom of the pack, but Overtaker leads away.
I've got a feeling this will be most people's drop score.
Oh, Max Mulder's in the wall. Mike's having a look round the outside at downhill section. He backs out of that one and lets Max have it. Maxo just clipping the wall. He clips the apex there, where the wall just sticks out a little bit. Let's not go there with the Cobb Monkey Boy. That's another one for another day. As now Mike Matthews under pressure from the BSP Esports sandwich here, and then the BSP Racing car of Ben is just tucked in behind that of Tim Venting. In fact, Ben's having a look now on Tim Venting. Down towards the chase they go. Can't pull out and have a look. Tim's having a look on Mike, who's pretty much pushing Mike through the straight. Was there a little bit of contact there from Tim? Mike goes on the defensive, manages to hold it. Tim's going around the outside, loses the rear of the car, taps Mike.
Sky's around, and Ben's just gone straight on. There was BSP Racing imploding. I think there was another car involved. Yeah, it's a 135 of Matt Wright.
Yeah, that's Matt Wright as well. So there goes Max for crashing through. Daniel's a little further back, then Edward Blackmore, then Richard Beasley, then Paolo way down the pack. But already Overtaker's got a 2.5 lead. Dan's got to worry about Skunky, who's got Paolo Viana right on the rear wing of him at the moment. And this is on board with Paolo Viana coming towards turn 2. And already a bit of a chaotic start here in the pros.
But now, because you've got to put a minimum of 1 litre in, be interesting to see what people's fuel loads are for time in the pit stop.
Yeah, obviously there is no longer a 25-second pit stop. It is all about the time, the amount of fuel. You just have to top up a litre. Look at Vienna here, getting really close to the back of Skunky's car, coming up the mountain then. Dan Davis just starting to pull away ever so slightly. When you see him, Vienna, at the moment, well, has to have a big lift there, and another secondary big lift through the first of the left-handers as he's trying to look for a move on this Ferrari. Dan's now got to try and gain on Overtaker, but like you say, that fuel's going to be the interesting strategy as Viana gets, Skunky. Viana gets a little close to the rear of Skunky.
Because how much fuel has Dan got in his car? Well, I could look in his string, but I'm not going to.
So. Yeah, it's going to kind of ruin the mystery of who's on what strategy for us. Yeah, exactly. We'd rather be surprised.
You wouldn't do it if we were commentating at a real race. You wouldn't have, I can see everyone's fuel load, would you?
No, exactly. As we're currently watching that of Viana, who's just lost out a little place. Here is Jamal Clouden. He's got Wittrup gaining on the back of him. Jamal up to 6th place. Not the starter he's easily wanted. It's not a bad start, but not been the quality start you would have wanted. But like you say, drop scores this week, or drop rounds come into play as from next week. If this is your drop round, you're not really going to complain.
No.
I'm just
For a
looking
lot
for
of
any
people.
other battles out there at the moment. Skunky getting a little closer to Dan throughout that last sector here. To me, I think Dan's running a heavier car.
Yeah, I think that because how Taker's slowly going up the road, but then again, he's ahead at the race start. I won't be surprised if that goes in.
I mean, as long as you're in your green, it's going to be hard, isn't it, to watch at. There's only one thing I can think of. I'm not going to say it on air, but there is only one thing I can think of that he's possibly done to get that. I'm not going to go there because it's not something that needs to be broadcast. It's something that stewards will want to look at themselves. Witchrup, though, putting some pressure on Jamal Cloud, and it has to be said, Jamal just struggling a little bit here.
Then again, though, is he running a heavy car again? And just put 1 litre in at the fuel stop.
Yeah, we just do not know. Where's Mike Matthews dropped down to? He's dropped down to 21st. He's had another moment, I think. In fact, I think Mike is in the pits. He's going slow.
Oh, look at that car. Oh, that is...
Right, that says... Oh, Cloudon's missed the downhill of Skyline. Oh, he's in the wall! No, he's in the back of a Ferrari. We was looking back from Jamal Cloudon. And he's into the back of a Ferrari. That is Ian McGowan once again, who manages to start to get it going. Ben's nearly involved. He just clips the back of the Ferrari. This is the problem with the mountain.
Yeah, it is so narrow. This is where drivers really need to pay attention to the spot.
McGowan kept it still as well. Didn't do anything wrong. Did a little bit there. Pulls forward on Matt Wright. Matt Wright keeps going, but yeah, McGowan's going to have to pit. He's got a long way to go. Good job for this hour-long race because they're going to need it. It's going to be absolutely interesting. Paul Williams, everybody, good evening to you as well. 2 minutes damage, says Mike in the chat. That's going to say it all for Mike Matthews. Skunky's lost out to Dan a little bit more. 2.5 seconds, though. Dan to Overtaker. Overtaker, fastest lap of this race. Guy Schundelmeyer's trying to get on the back of Machado here, who's had a good start to his qualifying.
Qualifying? Race.
To his race, sorry, after a poor qualifying.
Yeah, P. Williams comes in. Much drama so far. Yes,
Yeah.
now.
Tim Mentick's just got himself past Ian McGowan. Richard Beasley's trying to get on the back of Edward Blackmore for 17th and 18th place.
Max is holding P6 from Diz. That's quite a close little battle
Yeah,
here.
that's 2/10. Just going to go back to that Edward Blackmore fight. Beasley was having a look. Blackmore just runs a bit of curb and then touches the grass a little bit, but nothing can be done there. Diz on the back of Mulder, like you say, but not yet able to get past.
No, I think the Ferrari slightly got the BMW in the straight line. Maybe in handling as well. Because what did the Ferrari lose on the BOP?
Ferrari loses the most on the BOP.
Oh no, just
Ferrari pretty
yeah,
weak.
minus 20 for Ferrari.
Yeah, there we go.
Is minus 8 on the BM.
It is all about the timing. Oh, Max Mulder there looked like he was a little slidey on the rear, coming up and over the top. Vienna's back within 8
I think
tenths.
we need to get P. Williams in the ComSports.
Indeed. It's GT Jimbo, I think, who's doing a bit of commentary for the FBR guys at the moment. Might have to get him in as well. Now, what has happened to Dan was over a second ahead of Skunky. He's now right on the front of Skunky. So something happened to Dan Davis down the mountain here then. So already just struggling a little bit in this second race, Phil.
Yeah, but has he got a heavier car? We just don't know. Yeah. But Matt needs to get an Xbox Series F in the game, and we do the comms via the...
We just jump on a Discord call.
But the trouble is, then, we're a little bit ahead of the stream, aren't we? We are speaking to you from the future.
So something definitely has happened to Dan, and he's lost 3.2. Vienna, fastest lap of the race. But for Dan here, something's definitely happened to him. As he's
a bit of a trolley train now, isn't he?
Just a little bit at the moment.
As Vienna's the fastest man on track. Mike has done his forced pit stop for damage.
McGowan, is he still circulating? He is, I believe.
Yes, he is.
So McGowan's still going. Pit window doesn't open for a while. So Dan's got to rebuild that gap. This is the closest fight on circuit. Matt Wright is 4 tenths off the back of Max for crashing. Let's go check this one out for a moment.
Still quite an entertaining name. Thanks for crashing. I think you should have chose the Red Bull Ferrari that's in the game though.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
he is
I agree. Well, actually says Max Verstappen on the side as well. One of them does, so
yeah,
probably been the livery for him.
isn't it?
But here we go. Matt Wright on the back. Tim Venting just in the background as well, so he's going to want to try and make up some places.
He is. I think Tim was involved with an incident earlier, so he dropped him a little bit further back. Because Max is currently behind. Oh, has Max caught Winthrop? Where is Max?
Max car 95. No, he's not on the back of Winthrop. No, he's actually been passed by Diz.
Diz is not in front of him.
So some point, Max has lost out to Diz around this circuit. Diz has been on the back of him for a while here. So going to be interesting to see this one as they come down the Conrod straight once again. Matt Wright still by Max for crashing. He's got Tim Venting now actually gaining on him as well. So little trio battle going on here. Vienna still off a second. In fact, Vienna's got past Skunky. Has a wiggle out of turn at the final corner. But Vienna's got past Skunky. And Dan's still 3.9 behind Overtaker here.
Vienna should have ran the Rossi with BMW. Because then there's still 46.
But Vienna, with fastest lap of the race, is starting to maybe look at putting some pressure on Dan Davis here.
Yeah, wasn't that lap. That was the previous lap. That was his fastest.
I think it was 2 laps ago, it might have been.
I'm looking at the timetables.
Ah, there we go then.
Yeah. That was a lap ago, he set the fastest lap, but 2:01.6. So he's flying at the moment. What's Taker doing? A nice clear track in front of him. Taker's in the 2:02s.
So there we go, Vienna at the moment. Oh, Skunky just clips the wall, properly clatters that one as he comes up and over the top. What about Schundelmeyer trying to catch on Machado? Matt Wright and Max
Dan just missed Skyline there.
Right, so Dan struggling a little bit at the moment. Max for crashing, still holding on from Matt Wright and Tim Venting. And Mike Matthews is obviously a lap down. He's not actually been he's only been lapped once by the leaders. But the leaders are coming round. For Mike, I suppose, to get this bad round out of the way, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world.
No. Mike won't give up because there's still positions to be had. We've still got 48 minutes of this race, so anything could happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But
the mountain came back. Look at Kieran Argent yesterday. Kieran Argent yesterday was down the pack in race 1. The mountain bit that hard to assert to drivers. He came up to finish 7th or 6th. He had a great race 1.
And Shane as well. In
GT4s, yeah, exactly. So plenty to do and plenty to see.
Overtaker's just taking fastest lap.
Yeah, there we go. So Overtaker now putting the hammer down a little bit. Well, I want to push too hard. He's got this under control. He's got a good gap behind to Dan Davis. This is still the fight between Verkrashen and Wright here, with Tim Venting looking on in the background. Verkrashen just understeers a little wide through the kink, manages to take a defensive line out, breaks himself coming into the chase, so that should allow Matt Wright and Tim Venting through, and it does. They both get him. Shame that for Max Verkrashen, just outbrakes himself a little bit. Daniel now even looks like he's going to try, as Verkrashen goes defensive and Daniel can't get past there. But that's a shame. Vienna, though, really putting some pressure on Dan Davis. This is on the rear wing of Dan Davis at the moment.
Turning up the heat, and because Dan's defending and probably looking in his mirrors a little bit. Because that BMW is looming. As they go through the top part into Skyline. It actually says Skyline. Which is quite handy so we know what more.
Yeah. Really getting close is Vienna. On the brakes here in his M4. That's where he's closing up to Dan. The acceleration of the Lexus is where the BMW is losing out. It's under the braking that Vienna's getting close enough.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Taylor's slowly disappearing up the road, but again, is he on the right car as well?
Yeah, this is something that we've got to work out, isn't it, when the pit window opens in around 11 minutes' time. You're going to know by who's in the pits for the longest amount of time, who is on the longer fuel. Is Dan running full fuel Is Vienna and Skunky also running a little lighter? Is that why they'll be able to stick with that a bit more?
We won't know because we up their streams, but it's not. As Harris saying, loving the new camera angles.
Yes.
No, we figured out how to press stuff on the keyboard to change the cameras.
As a wee £10 keyboard purchased yesterday just for Pro Amas. That was a little wiggle from Machado. Tibbs now having a look on Emmanuel Machado to the outside of Murray's corner, the final corner on this circuit. He's going to try and maybe break a little earlier and cut back underneath. I tell you what he has. He just clipped the curb and it bounced a little bit. Now Machado could go a little defensive. That is, I believe... Is that McGowan just in front of the 17? That's Richard Beasley. Has had a moment at the chase. Yellow flag there. We're going to stay with this fight as he gets back going. That is the 664. That is McGowan who's just in front of these two.
Now, does the Porsche have a better straight line speed than the BMW? How brave is Tibbs? I mean, Strundelmeyer on the brakes. I don't make the PSN names again.
Right. Oh, into the back of Machado and into the wall there.
Tibbs was looking on the outside and not giving any room.
Yeah, that was, yeah,
Tibbs
squeezed.
He was definitely squeezed into the wall.
Oh, Machado's giving him the place. Machado's giving him the place there. I think he realises that was an incident that didn't need to happen. Daniel's now still on the back of Max for crashing. So plenty of action from Max for crashing here. This is looking on board this of Daniel's car then.
Meanwhile, they've dropped Skunky a bit. He's 2.5 behind him now. Ben's keeping Max honest.
Great run for Daniel up the top of the hill. Has to get out the throttle a little bit. Verstappen, the crashing, hits the wall. Slow car ahead, but Daniel gets through. And the crashing nowhere in sight here. So he just glances the wall. Max Mulder though. Whoa, Ben! That's a time to change. That's a time to change the camera just as Ben was on the back of one of the other BSP drivers and loses the rear. He's got it back going now. Schundelmeyer's nowhere in sight. Machado still on the rear of Tibbs. That was a perfect time to go on board with Max Mulder there.
Yeah, not for Chris though. I expect he's probably... Tibbs is bitten. Here's Tibbs' bad damage.
Yeah, I wonder if that damage is too bad for Sky Schundelmeyer. Tibbs into the pits. Dan's now dropped Vienna. He's gained a bit of time over Overtaker. And has dropped Vienna.
Maybe it's Dan. No, but maybe the car track's coming to Dan a bit now.
Darren Yo, by the way, he was caught up in that turn 1 incident with Richard Beasley at the start of this race. He's going great guns. He's up to P10. He could probably feel it in the air tonight. He's really driving a good race. He's had a good race 1, and it's going to be fantastic to see what he can do in this second race. He's moving up the order, and he's on the back of Machado. So with Ben and Max Mulder not far up the road. Sorry, that is Ben and... Who's that in front of Ben? That is, I believe, McGowan.
Yeah, Dad has probably got your race engineer right now. As well.
And Jay's probably told him.
Yeah.
Or Mike's probably got the stream on and he's heard it through the stream. Daz tends to block a few things out though when he's racing, so we'll see what happens. And he's dropped off the back of Machado a couple of tenths of a second, so we'll leave Daz alone for a little bit. Vienna though is back on Dan Davis. So what was 1.3 down the mountain, he's back to under just over half a second. Interesting race for Dan Davis. Ebbing and flowing massively. Chris saying in the chat that the blue flag on the mountain is hard to pass. Indeed it is, and you're not allowed to lap the cars down the mountain. It's not safe enough to do so. That's what the admins and the stewards posted this week on the Discord. So the drivers, want to have made sure they've read that. Tickets that go in to do with blue flags down the mountain will be sort of chucked out because it isn't safe to pull over.
There's Overtaker. That's the camera angle I've got, because I need to find my keyboard again so I can swap cameras.
It's a game changer, Phil. Skunky's in the pits.
What?
McGowan's back in the pits. McGowan needs to get back out on track. Could be a double retirement. So Dan's got Vienna on the back of him. Skunky's got damage. Diz is through, Max is through, Ben's through, Machado's through, Darren's through, Tim's now through, Matt Wright's coming past, Daniel's coming past. This brings Mike Matthews back into it with McGowan in the pits. Mike's coming back into this race here, but Vienna's now within 3/10. Phil, so, yeah.
Yeah. That BM, it just seems... It seems more stable at the moment than Dan's Lexus.
It does. Coming down the hill they come now. Blackmore's in the pits as well.
Fuel? Have they not put enough fuel in the car? And left it for the 20-minute race?
I'm not sure, but either way, into the pits they come.
It better be a bit of a rookie error, if it is.
But this just look at where Dan can pull away down this straight, though. This is so impressive of the Lexus.
Oh, yeah. Is Monza on the calendar?
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
Oh, that Lexus is gone then. That Monza.
Round 5, yeah, week 5.
Oh, Dan looked a little loose flying through the chase. He's on the grass.
Yeah, he's just struggling a little bit. Is this the Lexus running that maximum fuel that is the problem? Mike Matthews will now be getting past McGowan, who's still stationary in the pits. Schundelmeyer still in the pits. Blackmore in the pits. But Skunky has got going once again. Let's go, Viana says Pathfinder.
Mike's got damage on his car again.
Just struggled, hasn't he, tonight? Just struggled.
Well, I just jumped to Mike.
Also says, let's go, Machado. Good looking back from Dan Davis, though. That BMW. Let's watch it up the mountain here, Phil, because this is the bit where the BM seems a lot better than the Lexus.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Commentator's curse, loses the rear. Did he clip the wall? Not too sure. Doesn't look to have any damage. Yeah, don't. That's on me. That doesn't look to have any damage. Does Machado? Daniel, Matt Wright's got Daniel on the back of him.
So is McCowan moving again? No, he's not. Blackmore is. So
Schundelmeyer's out as well. It's just Blackmore that's in the pits. But if he's returned to the pits, that could be the 2 minutes at stationary and then his damage time. Drive through penalty, Blackmore.
And he's got drive through for speeding in the pit lane.
It's only 19 seconds. Good stream, says Pathfinder. Thank you very much, buddy. That's the closest fight on circuit then. Matt Wright and Daniel at the moment. 2 Ferrari 296s. A lot of Ferraris this year and BMWs, Phil.
Yeah, yep. Few Mercs. Cloudon's in no man's land with a bit of damage on his car.
Where's he? When did he drop to 15th?
Yeah, that's what I was then figuring out. When did Cloudon
He
drop
was
to
up
15th?
the order. When did Cloudon drop to 15th?
Yeah. I was sort of like looking for where people are. Then Vienna's made a mistake because Max is up to P5.
Yeah, he has made a mistake. So, oh, he's got big damage. And he's got Ben on the back of him. And Vienna's pulling to the side. He's letting Ben through. So there goes Ben. Tibbs is Schundelmeyer's a lap down. Keep thinking there's a yellow flag, but it's just Adam McGowan in the pits that's caused the yellow flag.
Yeah,
so Vienna...
I think Vienna's coming in the pits.
I'd be surprised knowing that the pit window opens next lap. No, look, he's going to stay out. Tibbs is going to try and lap himself. So
he might as well let slide past because...
Yeah, he's going to now. Look, just bounces off the curb. Sky's going to get the run on Vienna there. He's got his teammate just behind him. There's the Naval Racing Team. Let's go, says Pathfinder. And your boys just dropped down one place at the moment. He's going to allow his teammate Machado to get through. Where's Darren Yo? There he is.
Pressure's now off Dan, so...
Pressure's now off Dan. And it's going to be possibly more points for Daz and Machado and Ben in this race. But long way to go. Matt Wright's having the closest fight of the night with Daniel, with the crash and having Richard Beasley, who's not had the opening round of the season he'd have wanted. But saying that, it is Bathurst.
It is Bathurst. As Blackmore, I believe, is already in to serve his drive-through.
I believe so. Here comes Richard Beasley on the crashing. Down towards turn 2 they both come. You see the lights on Beasley's car. That's how dark it is at the mountain with this overcast conditions, and Beasley gets through up the inside relatively squeaky clean.
fight back for Beasley. Yet there's drive-through cleared for car 28.
So Dan Davis at the moment then, doing exactly what he needs to do. Overtaker doing exactly what he needs to do at this stage of the race. But we are with Matt Wright, who's actually lost out to Daniel. And the crash... and Beasley's now all of a sudden on the back of him. Matt Wright's hit something. We've been on board him. And he's very slow. Beasley's going to get past him here. I'm not sure what he's hit.
Has he scuffed the wall? Because these walls are...
Bonnet's slightly lifted a little bit. So, well, either way, this is going to be interesting. Overtaker has started another lap. So has Dan. So has Wittrup. So has Diz. So has Max. Pit window's opening in 6 seconds. Ben won't come in. What about Machado? Well, probably could get into the pit lane now. No, he's not going to be able to. Darren Yo's got past Vienna then. Will he be the first one into the pit? Let's wait and see.
Daz is straight in.
Yeah, Daz straight in. Tim Ventick's going to stay out. Viano, we assume, is going to also come in as well. So this is going to be an interesting one. What about Daniel? Daniel straight in. Richard Beasley's got a bit of damage to his car, so I assume that Richard Beasley probably will as well.
Mike's in the pits already as well. Again.
I'm not surprised. He's coming straight in to get that done and back out onto the circuit as quick as he possibly can.
Yeah, the crashing's in. Daz is done. He's away.
Yeah,
he's not repaired any damage. He's just
he's clearly feeling like the car is doing well.
Sometimes I think a little bit of damage make the cars handle better. They do, because they just tweak the suspension in a bit. They go, oh, that's nice. As he's come back out behind Clouden.
Yeah, Clouden yet to pit. I'm still struggling to think what happened to Clouden. He's got a bit of damage on the front of his Merc, but still struggling to see what has happened there.
Completely lost.
McGowan still in pits. That to me looks like it's another retirement for McGowan.
Yep.
I don't think any retirement tickets actually got raised. We're probably going to have to raise them or
raise that one definitely.
Or get them off as a warning for week 1 with it being Bathurst and get them away. That's going to be discussed in the admin chat. We'll obviously speak with Mike and the other admins tonight about that as Max for crashing comes out just behind Overtaker, who leads this race by 7.4 seconds. Now this is what's going to be interesting for me, is what Overtaker and Dan's strategy is, because Overtaker's gained 7 seconds. We know Dan's had a couple of errors, but still going to be an interesting one to see what his strat is.
Because Dan's now 7 seconds behind him. Dan can follow Taker in now because he's got time to react.
He can follow him in, especially if Overtaker's going to pit for longer. Remember, the more fuel he's got to add, the longer his pit stop's going to be. The pit strategies now start to take place. Ben's now come into the pits as everybody carries on their way. The next one's Clouden to worry about. See if Clouden jumps into the pit lane then.
I love a bit of strategy, me. It's what wins races. It's like you have 18 laps, qualifying laps to get into the lead. 98 Hungarian Grand Prix.
Yeah, exactly.
Clouden stays out.
Yeah, that surprises me with his damage. He's running nowhere. Darren Yo's only 3.2 behind him. And Daniel behind Darren Yo he's coming down the Conrod Straight, so he's not a million miles away. But there's Clouden. There you see Darren Yo on the back of him.
Ben's completed his stop, and Daz is not in front of him. Daz has jumped Ben.
I think Ben was ahead of Daz, I do believe, because Ben had that spin. Daz was ahead of Ben. Ben had that spin earlier on.
Oh, Paolo's in. Yeah, I said
Monkey says, did Clouden not collect the Ferrari on the mountain? Not quite sure. Don't remember.
Completely lost. But yeah, McGowan's still stationary. That looked like another retirement.
Oh, he's still got time to come out.
Yeah, he's only 6 laps behind.
It's Overtaker from Dan. That gap's up to 8.1 seconds. Just watching Darren Yo try and get close. Wittrup into the pit lane. Mike Matthews is back in the pits.
Diz stays out, as does Max Mulder. Does Insert Coin come in? He does. What about Tim? Tim stays out. And Jamal's only just come out of Forest Elbow. So, funny about this is effectively a street circuit, and people live here.
Yeah, people do live here.
People actually live on the
Kangaroos
inside of the
as well. No,
Yep.
he didn't. That was me. I'm a little broken, says Mike Matthews in the chat. So Machado and Wittrup in. Mike Matthews back in. Blackmore in as well. Hopefully Blackmore gets back out. He's only just pulled in. Wittrup is now away. So where's Darren Yo? Not close enough. Does Tim stayed out? Clouden now pits. That's going to release Darren Yo. Darren Yo just getting a little closer to him at the very end. And Mike has had a terrible night tonight. Halfway through the race, though, from race control, no real fights to talk about at the minute as the pit stops are starting to take over. Max is within 2 seconds, though, of Diz at the moment. We've not really spoke about Max much tonight.
No, apart from his impressive podium in race 1 for our reigning Pro-Am champion. Oh, overtakers Mr. Chicane! As I just cut
the chase.
The chase,
right,
yeah.
He's coming in.
And he's coming in.
He's coming into the pits and his overtaker. So
and
in he comes.
Dan stays out because he's had to get round for crashing.
So Dan stays out. There is Verkrashen. There is Paolo in the background. Where's Verkrashen up
I'm
to?
going to do this old school. I'm going to bring up my stopwatch and time how long overtakers in the pits for.
Oh, wow. Look at you. Check you out. Diz coming in as well. Max Mulder is going to stay out on the circuit. What about Tim Venting? Jamal Clouden still is in the pit lane. Jamal is having quite the lengthy stop here. He's lost out to Verkrashen. He's lost out to Beasley. He's lost out to Skunky. He's going to lose out to Matt Wright. Schundelmeyer's not yet pitted. Vienna's coming down the start straight.
That's fuel. That's fuel for Taker.
Told you, he's running light. He's running light. How long's the pit stop, Phil?
That was about 30 seconds. So that's fuel.
30 seconds? That's possibly tyres. Because the only way it's going to be 20 seconds is I think it's 23 seconds for a full tank of fuel. So if that's 30 seconds stationary, well, he's going to lose out to Dan here.
Yeah. If Dan's running a heavier car, that looked like that was about 30 seconds stationary. So that's a normal pit stop.
Oh, where's Diz? Diz has just come out the pits. Wittrup hasn't got past him.
But Wittrup was like 10 seconds behind Dan or so.
So Max is 21 behind Dan. Dan was only 8 something behind Overtaker.
And Taker missed the chase as well. So maybe flat. Oh, is 302 is out on track.
302 is Skunky.
He was backwards up the mountain.
Oh, there we go. Dan's in. Dan's in. Skunky down the order. Where
is he?
He
has to go in because they got about a lap left.
Skunky's back going now. Don't know what he's got left. Yeah, they've got a pit now. Max Walder's going to have to come in. Oh, he's had a big twitch through the chase.
Tyres dying, maybe? 29 degrees?
I wouldn't have thought so. 29 degrees. There's not a lot of marbles on the track. That kind of identifies how bad the tyres are going to be. And there's not a lot of marbles on this circuit. Yeah, exactly. This is what I say.
Taker's not have a chase yet.
No. Battle here. Jamal Clouden and Paolo Viana. Viana was fighting for Dan Davis second place. Now he's fighting Clouden after that big damage down in 15th and 16th, or for 14th, 15th. Now they've passed Guy Schundelmeyer.
Taker's now at Murray's and Dan's already out the pits. Going down the front straight. That's fuel.
Yeah.
Max has done his stop and away. So Taker comes out in front of Max.
Yeah, he does. Comes out in front of Max. Going to be interesting. Rob Smith heads had a mare, but got to keep fighting. Indeed, he is. It's the way to go. Points are points at the end of the day. 3 minutes 31 seconds this time I drove into the pits, said Mike in the chat. So Tim Venting still in the pit lane. Overtaker has got past him. So has Wittrup. So has Diz. Darren Yo's also got past Tim Venting. And so has Ben.
Good drive by Daz, actually.
Great drive,
keep going.
Yeah, really good
Tim
drive.
slots in behind Daz in front of Ben.
So just in front of the other BSP racing driver. But Dan has 18 seconds over Overtaker. And strategy can win you a race. And that's just probably won down this race.
Yeah, and running the heavier car. Just run at full fuel with 100.
The problem you've got is if you're running that, you know, if Overtaker was stationary for 30 seconds, that to me says that Overtaker's changed tyres. Because the maximum amount of fuel is only about, you know, to fill up 120 litres, you're only looking about 23 seconds of fuel.
And he had the about, 8-second lead before he pitted?
This is what I'm saying. So, for Overtaker, he's possibly changed tyres there.
And I don't think Dan has.
No, I don't think Dan has. No, I don't think Dan has. Tim Venting on the back of Darren Yo. He's bringing Ben with him. There they come.
But Max has jumped Sebastian.
Max has jumped Sebastian. So did Sebastian have damage, or did he have the tyre change as well? Did he have the long pit stop?
Yeah. Again, we don't know, but Max is net P3 at the moment.
Max,
still 25 minutes to go.
Max next P3, next net P3, which would give him a third and a second, by the way.
And he's only 3 seconds off the back of Overtaker.
I think that one's a bit of a big ask with Overtaker having the fastest lap. Daz didn't get a very good run out of the chase. Here comes Tim Venting. Doesn't make the move though.
No, and Ben's with him as well. Verkrashen's back in the pits. He is. Not for forget for Sky with his new rig. But then again, new car. He was in the McLaren last season. At least in GT4s, he's stuck with the Aston.
Yeah.
So maybe you should use the Aston GT3 car.
Vienna still on the back of Clouden at the moment as well.
Vienna's got pace, and
he has got pace. The problem is he was stuck behind Dan for so long. Now he's stuck behind Clouden. We're watching this three-way battle. Let's just drop back to out of Clouden and Vienna. Look at how close Vienna is out the elbow. Pretty much pushing Clouden out the elbow. And here comes Vienna then. On the back of Jamal.
Is he going to have a look on the brakes into the chase?
I think he is. I think he possibly is going to have a look on the brakes into the chase. Oh, Clouden had a bit of a wiggle mid-corner. No, he's not going to look on the brakes. Clouden defends that one. Oh, Vienna, close. Bit of a tap. Slows it down. Lets Clouden keep going.
The Overtaker, I think, is playing 2 seconds on Dan in the last couple of laps, but...
Well, and this is looking back from Darren Yo. I've just seen the Chris comment, that's why I've just gone back to Darren Yo, because there you see Tim Venting. There you then see Ben in the background of him.
Yeah. And Ben will Tim defend much from Ben because they're both part of BSP.
Look at this now. Skunky's also trying to get on the back of Vienna in this fight with Clouden down towards turn 2.
Again,
Vienna's been mighty through the mountain though. He's been mighty through the mountain. This is where he caught Dan. And this is where, look on the back of Cloud, he's going to probably catch up to the rear of him again.
Yeah, it's the same with Skunky. He's got masses of pace, so just... It's Bathurst. The walls move at you.
Blackmore's back into the pit lane, so he needs to get back out in this race. That is another retirement for McGowan.
15 seconds, 0.7 seconds between Overtaker and Dan. But Dan can cruise a little bit now because he's got that cushion and 21 minutes.
Yeah, that's the bonus Dan's got.
And there's a back marker between them anyway. And well, if everyone's ready at the post and do really, so
let's go back up to Darren Yo.
Daz has had a really solid night.
Yeah,
Oh,
he really has.
Unfortunate incidents, like losing at race 1, but that's his place for it. It just bites. Yep.
He's had a really good night. He's done fantastic, Daz. He's worked hard in the off-season as well to get this pace up. Tim just pushed a little bit behind him, nearly dropped a wheel into the gravel momentarily there.
And you don't want to do that here.
No, you don't, because that's going to spell disaster for the rest of your lap. You're going to be on the back foot massively.
Very evenly paced these three, aren't they?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
did the Aston gained weight 3 kilos. That's just a McDonald's move. That's how much the Aston gained.
I'm sure Daz will take a couple of top tens here. Tim Venting having a look pretty close to the back of Daz Automatic now, or Darren Yeo, should we say, runs a little wide through the chase. Well, it would have been another day in paradise, but for Darren Yeo, he loses 2 more places, and he drops down to P8 there. And now we're back to Clouden with that fight with Paolo Viana, then, who is really strong at the moment.
Yeah, and Skunky's not far. Okay, someone else of rapid pace and just terrible luck today. But never give up. Keep going.
Yeah, exactly. You get there to the end. Blackmore still in the pits. Hopefully he's going to rejoin out on the circuit. Dan's going to have to try and get now. Darren is going to have to try and get back past Ben and Tim Venting. And Max Mulder 14 seconds behind take. So I'd suggest Max has made a mistake somewhere, because Wittrup only 3 seconds off the back of him. Yeah, he's got damage on that car, so that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on, though. Back to Paolo Viana and Jamal Clouden. This is going to be an interesting one to watch.
It is. I'm getting hungry again. I was thinking of that McDonald's delivery car.
Rob Smith heads out, got spun once and crashed a couple of times, driving angry. That's a shame. Hopefully he gets back out for next time out. Obviously retirement here do lead to qualifying bans. Double retirement lead to a qualifying ban and back of the grid for the reverse grid the week after, as we try and encourage all drivers to finish. Obviously Bathurst, a bit of a different kettle of fish. As Vianney there just lost the rear, had a bit of a twitch coming on the back of Clouden.
Tim's pushing hard at the moment, watching Tim.
Trying to pull away from Ben.
Trying to pull away from Ben. And Daz is still there with him.
Losing a bit of pace there, losing a bit of touch, isn't he? But Daz didn't repair his car, I noticed, in the pit stops. So that's possibly where Daz is in relation to these two, without repairing his car. Max now 2 seconds to Sebastian Wittrup. So whatever Max has done, it's not worked, and Sebastian's coming for him.
Yeah, well, I believe Max has hit something, because if you look at his Ferrari wasn't that bent before the pit stops.
Agreed. Skunky's now in this with Vienna and Clouden. Testament to Clouden on a good defensive drive at the moment.
It is. It's just not clicked with the Merc here tonight, but we go to other tracks.
Well, it's apparently the best one on the bop earlier.
Apparently. But yeah, he's not. P413 is not where Clouden wants to be, because he was runner-up last season, wasn't he? Was he runner-up last season? I can't remember the points now.
I think the heating's kicked in here, because I am sweltering. But speaking of sweltering, Tim, squeaky bum time up the mountain, because his colleague of Ben is right up his exhaust pipe.
Smelling them fumes.
Yeah. Whew,
smell that
stinky.
Race feels really nice smelling.
Oh,
really
you turn up to a racetrack. What's the first thing you do?
Tim's lost
he's in the wall, and he's clipped Ben. Oh, he's clipped Ben. As he was pirouetting round, he's clipped Ben. Here comes Darren Yeo, nowhere to go as they both rejoin. Well, Darren Yeo's probably going to get past Tim here, you'd imagine.
Yeah, because they're going to have more damage than Daz's car. Look at the front of Ben's car.
Look at the front of Tim's car as well.
Yeah, that's going to affect the aero a little bit.
Well, I said another day in paradise. It might be now for Darren, who's going to come back and get 2 places, possibly. He's got some damage on the rear of his car, though, so possibly not also at the same time. Keep an eye on him down the chase. Look at him. He's getting a little closer to Tim Ventic. Pulls out now to have a look at the right-hand kink. Not going to do it there, though. Backed out of that. I think Darren had a lift there because he backed out of that one. Sebastian Witchkrupp now on the back of Max Mulder.
It's been a strong night, though, for Max.
Very strong night. Yeah, he's proven, step up from Pro-Am. This is what we can do, and he's done it well. He's battled hard here.
I think all them seasons he's had in McLaren, and now he's in the Ferrari.
Well, it's took him a lot of seasons in Pro-Am to get into Pro, hasn't it? And now he's finally crossed that line.
As well. Because he would have been in Pro when we jumped to ACC on the PS4, when we ditched Project Cars 2, because he was a reigning Pro-Am champion, wasn't he?
Yeah. But obviously, due to the new game, the new cars and everything, we had to rerun qualifying.
Skunky's lost it and returned to pits.
Skunky's going to have to come back out there. Although that is just under 3/4 distance, but that's going to help Mike out. Mike's going to gain yet another place there, possibly a few cars actually. Where is Skunky? Schundelmeyer over crashing Paolo and Mike. Mike's a lap down on Paolo, as well as Witchrup now getting closer to Max Mulder. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, Chris. For Ben and Tim there, they did come back off the place where they bounced back onto the circuit. And that's the problem with Bathurst, isn't it? Is where Tim spins, he hits that one wall, and where's it going to put him? Straight back into the middle of the road.
Well, yeah, because that's what the wall's designed to do, isn't it? To keep the crash contained.
Sebastian Witchrup can't get close enough to Max Mulder at the minute. Darren Yo still trying to get closer to Tim. Down the mountain they come. Daz would love a P6 here for Team SPR. Obviously, Gary Leach down in Cornwall on his holidays.
To have holidays when the season starts, I mean.
It's just diabolical, isn't it? 5 weeks off and you've planned your holiday for the start of the season.
Won't be able to have that when your child's in school, though.
Hey, look at that, right, as well. That's, he was second on the all-time race starts list.
I believe someone's left the session.
Someone has left the session.
I'm trying to
well, Skunky's still in the pits. Blackmore's still in the pits. McGowan's still in the pits. There's Mike. There's Paolo over crashing. Vienna, Clouden. Matt Wright, Richard Beasley, Machado, Daniel, Darren Yo, Ventink, Diz, Tibbs, Diz, Witchrup, Max, Overtaker, Dan. We have lost a driver. Let's run through the list. So Dan, Mike, Machado, Vienna, Beasley, Max, Ventink, Witchrup, Daniel. No, Daniel is there.
Daniel's still
Darren
there.
Yo, Schundelmeyer, Ben, Powell over crashing. No, crashing. Overtaker, Skunky, McGowan, Clouden, Diz, Blackmore. Blackmore still there, yeah. Matt Wright is the name I can't see. No, he is. He's there, yeah.
P12. But we have lost a driver, but we'll probably find out when we host.
Yeah, we are down to 20, so we'll find out at the result.
I'll bring up qualifying, shall I? Because that will tell us.
Has Mike done any laps? Yeah, Mike's done he's 4 laps down.
I'll figure it out, man.
Witchrup can't get back past. We're back up to 21. It was Schundelmeyer. It was Tibbs.
It was.
Yeah, it was Sky Schundelmeyer. Oh, that's heartbreak for him. Not had the best of nights. Darren Yo now on the back of Tim Venting coming down the Conrod Straight. Can he use that slipstream to get past? Here he comes. He pulls out to go side by side with Tim Venting. Then he's going to be on the outside for the little kink. It will be the inside for the first part of the chase. Daz round the outside. Side by side action. They just kiss doors a little bit. Is he going to go up the inside now though? Darren Yo up the inside. Round the outside. Can he keep it there for the next part? No, he can't. Great defending from Tim, who just drops 2 wheels onto the grass. And Darren, a flash of the lights there, but it was all hip and shoulder. Nothing wrong with that. That is hard racing.
Yeah. Rubbing is racing, as they say in certain movies. so it was Sky. Oh, terrible luck
Yeah,
again.
terrible luck. And, you know, obviously, Hurricane Helene, you don't know what damage it's possibly done in terms of Wi-Fi connections, how stable they're going to be, do you? Obviously, still recovering from that from Monday, from the weekend, I do believe it was. So, yeah, is that the problem?
The lead's under
Is
10
that why?
seconds.
Yeah, I think it's done, though. 2 minutes a lap, 10 seconds. You've got to go to about 2 and a bit seconds a lap.
Meanwhile, when the cameraman finds it, for me, Max is defending really well.
He is, to be fair. We've been flicking back between Max and Wittrup and Daz and Tim Venting. It does help Ben, Chris. That is the big thing for Ben, is that everything that that Tim Venting is doing now is all helping Ben. Vienna's within 2/10 again of Jamal Clouden. Wittrup has a wiggle out of the elbow. And look at Clouden still defending from Vienna. That is Matt Wright, who's just had a moment. So Clouden's on the back of Matt Wright now as well. So Clouden looking to make another place. There's Overtaker trying to lap them all.
Yeah, and the only places you can until you get to the mountain. Clouden having a look on the inside of Matt Wright into turn 1, and he in hell corner.
Yeah,
and he's got him, and Vienna's followed him through.
Vienna has followed him through. Now that is Overtaker putting a lap on Paolo, who's got to let the next 3 cars through as well.
And Clouden, because they're all laps ahead of him, and Clouden's trying to stick with Overtaker to pull away.
He is, and Vienna's defending from Matt Wright as they all come through. A lot of green on the pro grid this evening, and they all go through the corner. Wittrup's dropped 1.9 behind Max. Darren Yo's 0.8 off the back as well, so it's now down to Clouden, who's ahead of Matt Wright, but Matt Wright trying to attack the back of Vienna. In fact, he's not anymore. Vienna's now coming onto the mountain section where he has been so strong all race.
It's like his BM was really hooked up through him. But, yeah, getting through all this might have been heart in the mouth for Overtaker as he chases down.
It might be.
Go on. Pressure off Max at the moment.
Yeah, big pressure off Max Mulder at the minute. Hanging on to that podium spot, which will be double podium for him this evening as well.
Contender for driver of the day.
Oh, massively. Massively.
I'm going to lie with Max Mulder for this one. Daz is probably getting bored of the back end of Tim's Ferrari.
Diz done well at the minute. He's on for a pair of 5th places.
Yep, Diz has done well.
Quiet
Sky
race really in
back
this
on.
Second one, hasn't he? Very much a quiet race.
Sky's back out on track, so, and he's now gone ahead of Skunky, who's in the pits. Yeah, that's who my driver of the day is, I think.
Well, I think I've got mine in as well. Dan's just started lap 25, 8 minutes to go. Daz back within 4/10. Just seems to get close enough to Tim, but again, just can't find that extra yard of pace. Lost internet connection. Our internet has been screwed up since the storm. Yeah, that's a shame for Schundelmeyer there then, and hopefully everything comes back to normal for you all. Don't forget though, if you are new to this channel, please hit that thumbs up button and the bell to be notified when we go live. We're back live next Tuesday with Dan Davis for the GT4s, rounds 4, 5 and 6 from Misano, the evening race. Where the GT4s will be. First reverse grid of the season, and the ballast gets supplied for the top 8 in the championship. As Darren Yo getting a little closer to Tim Venting now, has a look into the chase but a little too far back. Myself and Dan Davis will be back live on Wednesday evening, 8 PM GMT for both Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Myself and Dan Davis will be back live on Wednesday evening for the Pro-Am, which was a fantastic race last night. That'll be the first reverse grid. Obviously, the bob will change for next week because we go to a different circuit. And first reverse grid for the Pro-Ams. And then myself and Phil Radin will be back in the box for next Thursday evening, 8 PM GMT +1. It'll be back to 8 PM GMT normal at the end of this month. Obviously, the clocks go backwards here in the United Kingdom. We all get an extra hour in bed.
Can't do with that.
As Darren Yo now gets a good run out of turn 1, and now here he goes down towards turn 2. Can Darren Yo? He's got fully alongside Tim Venting. Surely going to do him on the brakes here. Darren Yo into the second corner. Tim's going to try and hold it strong around the outside. Just touches a bit of the marbles. Has to back out of that one. And Darren Yo, that is a great move.
Yeah,
and makes it pretty much look easy there for Darren Yo.
I'm watching Sebastian I can't say his name.
Wittrup.
Yeah, he's right on the back of Max again. It's like the BM's better through the mountain, yet the Ferrari's better in the straight lines.
Yeah, has that power, doesn't it, the Ferrari? And obviously the Ferrari being lighter is just going to help it pull away down the straight. Sky Schungelmeyer didn't lose out to Mike Matthews. Is Skunky back out on the track? Skunky will score points. He's not out on the track. He did do the laps. But yeah, Wittrup just can't get... It's all the corners that BM's doing it on the brakings. Rob Smith, extra hour of practice rather than in bed. I like your choice there. Robert Smith now in the chat as well. What's the race pace running at?
Oh no, I'm seeing double.
PN, what is the race pace running at? You were checking that one earlier.
Yeah, well, I'll overtake who holds the fastest lap when I can find him. Yeah, it's a 2-minute 1.6. That's the fastest lap of the race.
2-minute 1.6. But then as well, by the way, it's all PlayStation users, so we can stay in the PlayStation chat for the interview.
And not use Discord.
As Max Mulder doing really well. Daz just started to drop Tim. The problem for Darren Yeo is he's way behind. 6 seconds now behind Ben with pretty much 2 and a bit, 3 laps remaining. So, going to be interesting. Looks like the 2 old AMS car. Who does? Oh, the Wittrup car. I see what you're saying.
It's exactly the same as Monkeys and...
Yeah, Monkeys and Sutties, except they're doing better in Pro. So what you're telling us, Monkey, is you've sold your BMWs to Wittrup and... well, just to Wittrup, because the other car is Daniel, and he's in the Ferrari. As Wittrup, they got very close to Max Mulder, didn't he?
Max's rear end looked very loose through the mountain.
Going to be an interesting one here at the end of this, Phil, to see who's going to take his final position, because they've both been absolutely fantastic.
Did Max hit the wall out of the elbow?
Well, I'm not too sure. Not too sure, just there. It did a little bit.
But yeah, it's just been... In play, well, it's been the usual carnage on the mountain. Maybe you'll put big circles.
It seems to have been... Most people have made the mistakes on their own more than drivers hitting each other. Yeah. We've not seen a lot of that. And it's been great racing over the 3 nights.
Yeah, and then you get caught up because there's just nowhere to go. But you've got to listen to your spot and look at that yellow flag symbol.
You have.
In the corner of your screen.
Obviously, we go to Misano, a bit more of a traditional race circuit, yes, for bikes, but traditional circuit in the fact that it's got so much room to be able to, run off to go onto the grass and things.
Yeah, and I tell you what, the Ferraris are so strong. As Wittrup gives Max a little flash, but that won't put off for Max Mulder.
No, not at all.
Overtaker's lost time. Overtaker's gone off. He's
got huge damage. Max Mulder then. What is the gap behind? It's a big gap. And Overtaker's only got a couple of laps to hang on in there, but Overtaker has got big damage.
I just saw the time that being 18 seconds and just jumped to Overtaker, and he's been off.
He has indeed, and indeed there is. Chris, thank you very much for the congratulations. We'll find out the sex of the baby in 2 weeks, but just the Pro-Am race at Kyalami. He's hit the wall again, coming down the mountain. We found out the sex in 2 weeks as well, Chris, but thank you very much for the congratulations.
Are you going to say what the name is going to be?
I'll happily say what the name's going to be in the sex. We've already picked the names for the boy and the girl. If she's watching, and I might have to shout this one a little bit. If it's a boy, I've decided to name it after a couple of people's PSN names. So it's going to be Micro Grandad Automatic Motorsport 16. No, it's not really. We have got a boy and a girl's name. We're going to find out in 2 weeks. So yeah, it's going to be fantastic. If she's heard that, I'm dead after this broadcast. So if I'm not here next week, you know why. But we'll see. Overtake, though, huge damage. 13 seconds to Max. Wittrup, now knowing that Overtaker's got damage. Where's Dan? I think this is the last lap. So
I think Dan crossed before the time.
No, I think this is 1 minute 32 from where Dan is. I think this is the last lap.
He's got time to ease off now.
Yeah.
But how generous is he feeling?
This is it. Are we going to try and push for that last place? Get them extra points on the board and get get them places. No, it's not Dean. You can really go off of people, you know.
Andy.
If it's a boy, it's being named after an actual decent racing driver as Max Mulder's wide at turn 2. And now Wittrup gets the job done. And he moves into that second place. Right then, Dan, do you get that extra lap in? I don't think he's got the time. Oh, no, now Wittrup's got into the wall and Max Mulder's got him back. Oh, you can't make this up. Max Mulder, who had finally made the mistake to open the door for Wittrup, has just gone into the wall himself.
Dan is now coming on. Yeah, Dan's on the Conrad straight right now.
Yeah, this is the final lap of the race, I reckon. We're going to stick with this fight until we see Dan get towards the final corner. But for Dan Davis, you know, third place in race 1, had the undercut on him, and it was done an absolute peach. Return to him now. Dan's surely going to bring this one to the end of the race, but here he comes then. Towards the end, Dan Davis rounds the final corner. He's going to take a win this season. He wins the second race. Dan Davis, great job from him. Overtaker is going to hang on for second place and take the fastest lap of the race as well. So a great job from Overtaker. As Clouden has finished down in 12th. Clouden finished a lap behind Dan. How many times could you say that last season? Vienna down in 13th as well after his damage. Not the night for him. Matt Wright down in 14th place. Schundelmeyer was 17th after the disconnection. Mike Matthews was 18th. But here comes Overtaker. And that is going to be the race second place for him. We then drop back to Max Mulder, who is going to take P3. That is a great drive. Wittrup just behind him in 4th. Absolutely fantastic battle between the pair of them. We then go back to Diz, who's had a pretty lonely race.
Solid night.
Here tonight. Solid night. Set to P5s. Really solid night.
Definitely a contender, but we'll see what the vote is.
Yeah, exactly. Diz to the line. We now just wait for Ben, who's going to come across for 6th place. Another solid night as well, by the way. Darren Yo. Great night for him. 7th place after a 19th place in race 1. Is that right? Did he get 19th place in race 1?
Who?
Darren Yo.
No, was he 19th? I don't know.
I'm not quite sure. Tim Ventic, though, crosses the line. He'll come across for 8th place. We then just await for Daniel, who comes across P9. Emmanuel Machado, P10.
And Beasley's still coming down the Conrad.
Richard Beasley's coming down the Conrad for P11. Clouden 12th. Paolo finished P16. Max Verkrashen is still coming around as well. Just double check the timetable. Make see where Daz finished in race 1 for me, because I've got it down as 19th on here. Don't know if I've inputted that wrong.
Yeah, it was 19th.
19th, yeah, I thought so. So here comes Richard Beasley. P11 for him tonight. And then Max Verkrashen, 15th place overall for him. Send an invite to Max Mulder, Dan, and an Overtaker if you possibly can.
They're all in this party anyway, I think.
Just double check them for me. I'm going to sort the tables out then. After 2 nights worth, or after a week's worth of Bathurst, we bring that to the end. And that is the mountain done until November time for the pros and the Ams and the GT4s in what has been a fantastic night's worth of racing. But it is Overtaker who leads the championship at the moment, 4 points clear of Dan Davis, with Max Mulder sitting in 3rd place. Diz is P4 with Tim Ventic in 5th. Sebastian Wittrup in P6. Ben's P7 from Richard Beasley. Jamal Clouden 9th. Darren Yo's in 10th from Sky Schundelmeyer 11th. Machado P12 from Daniel. Paolo from Mike Matthews. Max Verkrashen from Wright. Vienna from Skunky. Blackmore Harris. Gary Leach. Kieran O'Reilly and Ian McGowan, 2 DNFs. BSP Esports so lead the way, 28 points clear of SimPlay Racing, with Fat Bloke Bandits in P3, Dan Seb in P4, BSP Racing are P5, the Naval Racing Team P6, Team FBR P7, Team SPR P8, and Redline Junkies down in 9th place then. And we are joined in the party by Dan Davis and Max Mulder. And we will start with Max Mulder first of all. Max, you've made the big jump up into pro this season, and that is the way to start your season. 2 third places, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was quite enjoyable. I didn't do a lot of practice on this track, so it was kind of sketchy what my pace was going to be. But yeah, 2 podiums, not too bad.
Great start to the season and a great fight at the end there with Sebastian Wittrup. He got you at the end, and when you must have thought, oh no, I've lost that podium, he runs deep and you get it back.
Yeah, I was like, ah shit, it cannot happen this lap. And then I saw him go wide, and I was like, yes, I still got a chance. And then at the end of the long straight, he kind of fake dive on me, so I was like, oh shit, I'm going to mess this up. But at the end, I got it.
Yeah, indeed you did. P2, P3's got to be happy with that on your pro debut. We move to Misano next week. What's the plan for around there? What can you do?
Well, keep the pace going like this, and we will see what will happen there.
See what will happen there. Well, Max, congratulations on a fantastic night's worth of racing. Enjoy that one, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, see you.
And we can now speak with Overtaker, who's just got in as well. And we are just going to apologise for the language here from Max Mulder. Apologies for that one. But we can now speak with Overtaker. Race 1, check, job done. You didn't win a race last season, so it must be nice to get on that top step.
Yeah, been a long time coming, so nice to get back on top.
Yeah, indeed. Now, no Bentley, which is a little disappointing. I'm not going to lie. I was hoping that you was going to pick the Bentley. But the Ford Mustang, interesting choice. How's that treating you so far?
Yeah, you were saying you were disappointed, but I feel like this Mustang feels a lot like Bentley from previous version. I tried the Bentley, and the Ford strangely felt more like Bentley from before.
Yeah.
More planted and faster in the corners. So I said I'm gonna pick it, try it, because I get start of McLaren really. So
well,
yeah, it's been good for now.
Good start to the season for you, a first and a second place. What happened towards the end of that second race? So we saw you with a lot of damage.
Yeah, I saw what Dan did. He did excellent job with the tire management. So I had to push, but I got unlucky a bit with the traffic. So I lost a couple of times, and I made a mistake in the pits, missed my box. So I lost another couple of seconds there. Without traffic, without my mistakes, it would have been closer. I just lowered TC as low as it gets, tried the ultra quali spec, and I just lost it. I knew it was do or die, so it is what it is.
Good start to the championship there. We head to Misano next time out. What can you do around there? Can you take another race when obviously reverse grid comes into play, and it looks like you're at the moment going to start at the back of the grid?
Misano, I don't know. I don't really know the track. The only time I've raced it was in PS4 in the SimPlay, so I don't like it. I think it's not a GT track, it's a bike track, so it's not suited to my style, but I'll learn it again and try to do my best.
Indeed.
And congrats to them again for the race 2. Amazing tire management.
Yeah, indeed. Overtaker, congratulations on tonight, and we'll catch you next time. Well done.
Yep, and congrats to Max also. GG.
And now we can speak to Dan Davis, who's the winner of Race 2. Dan, Race 1 didn't exactly go your way, but Race 2 was a lot better from yourself.
Yeah, definitely a lot better for Race 2. I saw what Robert Smith did yesterday. I'm not sure how the Lexus would have handled it, but yeah, we gave it a go, and yeah, that was harder than I thought it was actually going to be. But fair play to Overtaker. He's found the pace in the Mustang, and I genuinely thought I might add the edge in the Lexus, but going into this race event now, I think me and Overtaker are probably as equal as we can possibly get. Both of us running a front engine car, and yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see. He's in a newer Mustang, and I'm in the old Lexus, so mine's slightly faster in a straight line, but nonetheless, it's nice to see Overtaker really pushing me. I had to really think outside the box on that one, and the strategy was already gone by the time he got me into turn 1.
And with the rumours of Eckholt joining back next week, obviously the likes of Gary coming back off his holidays, and Harris as well, a couple of new drivers and returning faces on the grid, it's obviously going to make that championship a little harder for you.
Oh yeah, definitely, and with me trying to learn a front-engine car as well, it's another challenge on top of it. But this is why we do these things. You push yourself to the limit and try and I do want these boys to push me right to my very edge, and tonight Overtaker made me sweat hard tonight. So and also to Skunky and I can't remember
Vienna.
who was behind me. Vienna, both of them was just sat on my backside and just waiting for something to happen. But no, props to Max Mulder getting on the podium as well. Race 1, just trying too hard to catch Overtaker and just made a mistake. And just silly little mistakes.
We go to Misano next week, as we know. It's an evening race as well. What's the plan for that circuit? Obviously a bike circuit, we know, but what can you get out of it?
It's a lot more aggressive on tyres, a lot more corners, but again, there's a long straight, so hopefully that will allow me to get to 6th gear, because 6th gear seems to be an animal in this thing. But yeah, it's just see what we got and go into it just with a clear mindset, and see if we can make sure we keep Overtaker behind us in the sprint race, because that's going to be the key thing. And yeah, just stay out of trouble and go for it.
Yeah, go for it indeed. Well, congratulations on tonight. You have got the fans' vote for driver of the day, so congratulations on that one. Phil, driver of the day, final thoughts?
Oh, can we race that Bathurst again?
No.
Oh wait, we will in November for the endurance race.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'm going to give driver of the day to Max, because he's come up from Pro-Am. 2 podiums.
Yeah. No, yeah, very good. I'm also going to give my driver of the day to Max Mulder. I think he's had a fantastic evening. I think he's done very, very well. To like you say, come from Pro-Am and straight into the Pro to race these boys. Really well done. Managed to pip Dan in that first race, but that is all we have time for in the session tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring you the broadcast here in the Pro Series, and we'll be back next week with all 3 racers heading to Misano for an evening race around the circuit in what they've got printed on their trackers, San Marino. It's in Italy. It's nowhere near San Marino. It's close to Imola, or closer to Imola than it is San Marino. But we're going to see what will happen there. Evening race. So we're going to go into where the lights are going to start to take over. The sun's going to set, if there is any, because there is rain around looking at the forecast. It's going to be a fantastic week. Dan Davis will be bringing you the action in GT4s, 8 p.m. GMT +1. On the Tuesday evening. Myself and Dan will be back next Wednesday for the Pro-Ams as they take to their 3rd and 4th race of the season. And then myself and Phil will be back in Pros for the Misano evening race before we get ready for our night race. Double header of evening and night race. So different times and different weather conditions. Temperatures are going to be a lot cooler as well. So it's going to be something to really keep our eyes on going into that next 2 weeks. Don't forget, if you are new to the channel, hit that thumbs up button and hit the bell to be notified, as well as subscribe to the channel if you are new. And as always, check out our fantastic sponsors, Design Manchester and Audio Sport. Links are in the description for them. And we will see you in a week's time. Goodbye.
Bye.
We are clear. We're clear.
No. Swearing. Right, I'm going to take my meds.
Hard work.
Fuck me, that a fucking Lexus drove like a